live? What's happening? What's going on?
I'm refreshing, so I'll let you know.
Where are my
We're in
grandchildren?
limbo.
I hate to tell you
we are
this,
live,
Bob.
but you might want to change your title.
I keep forgetting to fucking do that. Oh, the one thing I miss about Streamlabs, allowing you to do that before you go live. Where
You do
are
it too
you?
if you include if you use the Stream Elements plugin.
There's a lot.
That's gonna take some setting up, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, it didn't for me. I just imported what I had from Streamlabs into Stream Elements using a plugin, and then after that, I just whoop, and like had everything. Next time stream, like if you want to chat, I'll help you figure it out.
Okay.
Forgive for the lateness. Burgers nearly went kablooey.
But you're here.
Oh, no worries, dude. Welcome.
Nobody would have even known you weren't here. Okay. Luckily, I'm still set up for D&D, so now I press play, and so now that should update the old, what's it called? The thing. The title.
It is updated.
Words. Yay!
Yay!
I'm glad when I stream with other people because they can tell me and I don't have to try to refresh on my phone. Yeah, no, I'm totally a professional streamer, guys. What gave you that idea?
Hey! Casual professional.
A casual professional is basically how I describe myself in fighting games.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm semi-pro considering I only just finally got my company to properly fire me today after over a month and a half of not appearing into work.
It's gonna be very funny if you get a month and a half worth of paycheck, though.
I was going to argue it, but ironically I had to talk to my district manager about it. And the first thing was, are you sure you don't want to just move to another store? And I was like, you're adorable. Nah.
That's funny.
But it's wrong.
Well, no, it's because they need the people, but the company won't pay. I was making less than $12 an hour after 3 years of working at that place as a full-time employee.
Yeah, fuck that.
No way.
Yeah, I left because of the disrespect. Well, what are you doing there, Wiley?
I don't know, man. Someone's got a loud-ass vehicle outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wiley, I can't believe you're revving your engine at this time.
He's just so excited about today, that's all.
Just making sure so I don't say things that don't need to be said. We are live, yes?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
That reminds me. Let me go grab my special drink for tonight.
But yeah, no, because of how it came through on Discord, on my end, it just sounded like you were playing your bass directly into your mic. And I was just like, wow, Wiley, what a flex. I have to find my amp before I could even do that.
Yeah, it started recently. I don't know what the hell is happening out there.
It's going to take me another couple minutes, but I think I'm starting to get to the point where I might be able to log into Roll20.
Well, that is good.
It's going to hopefully when J Frost gets back,
I am back.
I'll be able to log in. Okay.
Yeah. Also, thanks, Bob. I'm now stuck with Burger Boy in my head.
You're welcome.
Burger Boy.
I'm able to log in, so I am now logging into the game.
Okay, I'll close out.
Hell yeah.
I'll close out your character sheet on my end to make sure you can get into it. Bloop.
Also, while you're doing that, I want to take a look at... ooh, you did. Very nice.
Yes, I told you. I made sure that every NPC that is currently at campus has a sheet, has prepared spells, and if I had to write their character, you have notes for them.
Because you're amazing.
Yeah, I'm not writing in the ones that are in the book. You have the book, and I'm not typing in that much minutia. It took me, let's see here, there's something like 35 to 40 NPCs there, and I wasn't going to copy in like 15 just from Strixhaven myself.
You're good, man. You're good.
I mean, fair.
Yvonne.
Yeah?
I'm just curious about something.
What?
Do you have character pictures available for you so you can see them, or do you have them closed down?
Let me check. Character pictures. Oh, mine. That is a, well, first of all, damn all of you! You dirty owls!
Those in
Give
chat,
a hoot. Don't pollute.
all of us changed our profile pictures and
I'll-
rolled 20 to
Here.
owls. and
Here,
we've
I'll
been
be nice
sitting
and
on this
I'll peel
shit
back the
for 2
the
weeks.
screen for 1 second here.
Here, let me fire up Twitch just to see everybody's freaking.
It's taking forever for it to actually capture the screen that I was capturing just on the other screen. Give me 1 second. Why are you doing this?
We've literally been sitting on this for 2 weeks waiting for this age. to come.
For
And I
thousands
can't
of
show it
years.
to
we may-
anyone. It does not want to capture the live scene, but does want to capture it if I am. Huh. Well, that's just weird.
It is a-okay.
Yeah, no, we can. I'll take a picture and I'll throw it up on Twitter.
That's beautiful. I shall also get like a nice little screen cap of this because bless you.
I'm already
all.
snipping it.
There you go.
This has absolutely been wonderful to wait for.
And of course, straight out the gate, our boy L Robot is just saying the Court of Owls strikes again. The part of me that's a comics fan is like good reference. The part of me that also hates these owls is like fuck you, fuck all of you. How dare?
Sir, these owls did nothing wrong.
And I would like to point out that my owl was custom made for this campaign. Was custom made for this bit by Wanderous.
Oh,
Of course, Swan
bless
did it.
Swan. Bless Swan.
I recently realized that I hadn't friended them on Discord, and the first thing they say is, "You do realize now I'm just going to abuse pun privilege," and I was like, "I've made a terrible mistake."
Oh my goodness. So, okay, speaking of puns.
Keep
I
talking like
know-
that. I'm gonna bring one in here.
I know it's not completely on topic, but literally a friend of mine earlier sent me a picture and he said, "You're going to love this." And it was a picture of Kieran, and it said, although he was known to be half horse and half man, he was also known to be a doctor. And so we guess we could call this the centaur of the disease control. And I was like,
I
oh my
remember that. That's a good one.
I remember that.
million.
Oh. Okay, hold on. You're making me actually bust out my document of listed puns here for a second.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
No, we're not doing that. You know, we might as well start getting ready for the game. I mean, we're right here, and I can just press play on this intro if I need to. My hand is hovering
That's
over
true.
my stream deck.
J. Frost, before we begin, may I make a pair of coin flips for a couple things for my alchemy jug?
You know. Oh, that's right. You know what? Yeah.
Okie doke. The first one, we're gonna, I guess. Let me see if I can do the custom dice roller. It only gives me a D4, so.
Oh, you can do a coin flip if you do in the text chat /R space 1d2.
Okay. This first one is for Arcane Ink. 1 is heads, 2 is tails.
Okay.
The second one is for Healing Potion. 1 is heads, 2 is tails.
So 2 heads.
Well, they are better than one.
You beat me to it.
Oh, that means my alchemy jug can now produce Arcane Ink and a Healing Potion.
Ooh.
You know
That's-
what? I was gonna save this drink for later, but congratulations, you're making me sip on 170% Tennessee Devil.
I mean, you say that, but Daedalus is also possibly about to start haggling for rights to spells, so we may be making a lot of money that you did not plan on us to make.
To be fair, a lot of the stuff that I make is going to be going right into gear for the party.
You know what? That is fair, and it's also really helpful to have that.
Yeah, looking at you, spell component costs.
At least you guys are playing in a game where you can find spell components. I haven't even been able to cast my 4th level spell and Chult of Personality, and I've had that for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And you wizards know what you're doing.
Imagine the idea of a cleric in a realm where you can't find a 300 gold diamond.
I mean,
Sure sucks to be in Barovia.
imagine being a cleric in a game where you can't bring back the undead. That's Chult.
Imagine being a cleric, please. Paladin all the way.
All of us slowly turn to our rogue.
Why are y'all looking at me? I ain't a paladin.
Well, we thought you were a cleric.
No. Why would you think that?
The glowing holy text.
I guess you guys could say you've made a clerical error.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
I've already used that pun elsewhere, and I'm pretty sure it got me blacklisted by Monty.
These scriptures.
No! Alright, well then, let's start going around the horn, and then we will get into this. So, J. Frost, where can they find you?
I mean, they can find me right here. I'm sorry, dad jokes aside. Hi, you can find me over at twitch.tv/jfrost747, where, guess what, baby? We got Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 for a steal, and we'll be beginning our playthrough with the Borderlands 1 game, Game of the Year Enhanced Edition, multiplayer, so be prepared for explosions, and a lot of visceral violence. And you can also find me on Twitter, just, shitposting.
As is the want with all of us, except for CG.
That is true.
Speaking of CG, where can they find you?
You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me over on Farting Tart's Twitch channel for War of the Shattered Sun every Sunday at 7, as well as every other Tuesday for the Curse of Strahd. Next Tuesday is a game day. We just went through interesting encounter in the water.
Would
Yes.
would you say they were in a swamp, a marshland, perhaps a
Would you say it was
lagoon?
a splash?
Perhaps a lake of some sort.
Was it a Great Lake?
Listen, I live near the Great Lakes. They ain't so hot.
Wait.
I mean, you guys have Cedar Point at least.
We
That's
do.
cool.
We do. Congrats, Ohio. You get one.
Look,
Flash
that
Lagoon,
arcade
baby!
is fire. That arcade is complete fire. They had DDR for 50 cents, and I found like an X-Men 6 cab.
Now you're making me
Yeah.
want to play the X-Men.
All
That's
right.
that's it for me.
Well then, Zai, where can they find you?
Hello, everybody. You could find me on, when I'm not here every other Saturday, you could find me on Twitch at ZymeSite. Let's see, Twitter, it comes up as Zyminus, spelled completely different, but don't worry about it because, hey, I had to change up my name a few times. Let's see, we've been streaming mostly Sundays, Mondays, Thursday and Friday. Dark Souls has been Sunday and Monday, and the death has been real. This was my first foray into Dark Souls anything personally, and Bell Goliath whooped my ass for about 45 minutes today. So yeah, that was a thing. When I'm not doing that Sundays and Mondays, on Thursdays I'm doing Monster Hunter Rise because I basically have some events that I want to complete before Sunbreak releases in June, so I'm trying to complete all of those events. We finished the HR main story missions, so woohoo! Fridays is basically fight games or beat 'em ups, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. When I'm not playing games, you can catch me over at nerdygirlblurbs.com, where I'm finally gonna put up an article in hopefully the next 3 weeks. it's been a little while. And it's on, of all things, the Batman. So yeah, that's me. Yeah, who's next?
That would be one Mr. X Wiley Willie. Willie, how you doing?
I am less sick. But you wouldn't know that, I guess, because we skipped a week. So, yay. Or something, I don't know. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at XWileyWilly. I've been starting to stream more than just randomizers. I'm making more music. I'm going to try to do that more actively since I have time now. And you can find that stuff on my YouTube channel. I think it was XWileyWillyX because someone took my fucking name.
Yes, but
Same thing for Twitch too, right?
No, on YouTube, there's an X at the end. Everything else, there's no X at the end, just at the beginning. Because I wasn't fast enough to the draw.
either way, I'm still just shocked that Wiley actually remembered to plug his own YouTube channel. I'm so proud of him.
I'm trying.
Scrolling all up.
Yeah, no.
You can also find me on Tart's Curse of Strahd games that I keep forgetting to mention.
At least,
But it's fine. CG sells shows for me.
Yeah. And you've already found me here on twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn, where I stream a lot of different random games when I have the time, which I'm trying to find more of the time. You'd think having no job I'd have more of the time, but that's just the illusion. Time is an illusion. It's a flat circle. Don't believe in it. But yeah, we've been playing through some Bravely Default 2, and was not prepared to find out that the main character in that game is technically a warlock, so that's fun. Also, looking to finish up Little Girl Dark Souls here sometime soon. And if you would like to find out more, yeah, just check the chat where El Robot has dropped a link to our YouTube channel where you can catch up on the VODs for this, for Cholta Personality, as well as any games that I upload onto there. So keep your eyes out. And with that, I think it's time for us to play our theme song created by one Mr. X Wiley Willie. And then we'll get
What about
We're missing one person.
What about Bob?
What about
Fuck me, I guess.
Oh, Bob! Oh, no! Oh, no!
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, this is why
I
I'm
have
not a
an
master of
appropriate-
ceremonies.
Fuck you, Bob.
Fucking hell.
Bob, where can they
Love you,
find
Bob.
you?
Being forgotten.
It's okay, Bob. Here, I'm gonna make it all better by giving you an extra 2 gold coins.
Yay. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at ShadowDancerBob. Sundays we've got the Maelstrom, which is a WWE meets 2K19 show where Vaughn is the Earl King and a horrific monstrosity called Earl King Vomborough. He is being hunted by creatures. On Tuesdays, offline, we got Destiny 2 with the 101 Guard. On Wednesdays, occasionally, you can find me on twitch.tv/TrashKingArisen, where I play the oh-so-villainous but oh-so-handsome Silver Devil. Thursday and Friday, there's various things that might happen on my channel. We've got the Trials of Somnium Vagus with Dreamscaper. We got XCOM. We've got Subnautica, so on and so forth. Let's see. Saturdays, you can find me right here playing Indare, the multiversal variant of Denier. And Mondays, you can find me on twitch.tv/LannyPator, where I play the multiversal variant of Indare, Denier. And that is it for me. Fuck you, Vaughn.
Love you too, buddy.
Denier.
Also, I should probably
So
point out the
far.
important thing is that we're technically going to be doing something that we don't regularly do. We will be playing next week as well, because we have to catch up for the week that we missed. But after that, it's back to every other Saturday. So keep your eyes peeled for next week on Twitch. But now, it's time for us to get ready for class to start, so we gotta play our theme song.
I'm gonna put an owl on your bed, bitch.
Oh no.
Oh.
Any second now it'll start. I press the button. Come on. There it is.
There we go. Baby cat.
I guess I should confirm technically on the first Saturdays Saturday, a week from today, is the makeup.
That's right.
So technically, we're
Okay.
playing 3 Saturdays in a row. I just wanted to make sure I had it right.
Boy,
Yeah.
howdy, I hope that book I ordered gets in soon, because I have a few things for all of y'all.
I love how like all of our voices are still here. Everyone wants to drink.
Alrighty, well, you want to take us away there, Jay Frost?
You know what? I think I will take y'all away. I'll take y'all away into the Shadow Realm.
Alrighty.
That's
well,
right, we're going to the Ultimate Games duel. But, without further ado...
This is the perfect
La-
way for you to debut the fact that we now have art of your DM.
Oh, holy
Yeah.
shit, hi!
Wait, this
God.
this is the first time with the new overlay, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Ah, you forgot.
Hot damn!
I'm pretty sure I told you guys that Wiley updated the overlay because we need to fix some things to make it work better for Twitch.
Yes.
See, looking Dungeon Master.
And
Kinda wish I
something's
looked
already
like him.
messed up. Oh well, it's good enough. Wiley will fix it after stream.
Don't worry about it.
Peace.
Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. But anyways,
Look at this. hand.
last time on Saved by the Spell, our party managed to have a little bit more fun, and of course, we're dealing with the ramifications of the good old-fashioned races. Of course, they managed to meet up with a few of their teachers, get prepared, and were starting to gather themselves in preparation for their first ever classes. Of course, certain things led to one another, and of course, one student in particular may have kind of blew his shot at getting a passing grade. So now this has occurred. They must now face a threat worse than death. Expelment! God damn, that was funny. That was good, Si. Yes, CG?
I'd like to go on record as saying I do not approve of this particular phrasing.
True, the word he's looking for is expulsion.
Did somebody say explosions?
No, but we heard one.
Time to get in contact with the boom operator. Speaking of boom, our scenario takes place to Sallus, who, after just walking out the front door of the main teacher's offices, well, Silas, you heard a massive explosion. You could feel the heat of the fire going off. You looked up, and the office in which Professor Melf was in, being engulfed in flames. Also, could you do me a huge favor, buddy?
Uh-huh.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Perfect!
17.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You don't have to worry. As shrapnel and debris are kind of coming down, you manage to dodge out of the way. Especially when, part of a desk kind of collapses down onto the ground.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, god damn it.
So at this moment, students as well as members of the school faculty are kind of looking up at the explosion, going, "Oh my god, what the hell?" That ain't good. You don't think that's good.
Sallus is going to run straight into the building. He's going to try to get back to the office.
All right, you run into the building, and now there are two ways you can go up. There are stairs, and there is an elevator.
Yeah, we're taking the stairs.
Smart boy, smart boy. Sallus, you are running up these stairs as fast as you can. You are panting. You hate the fact that this office had to be on the 7th freaking floor, but you know what? You're running for dear life. Please, take it away as to what you're feeling.
At this moment, Sallus is kind of he's working through a couple things in his mind, and he's growing ever more panicked. Like, he ran in without thinking specifically of all of the moving parts that led to this. He just saw explosion, not good, and then he noticed the desk. He's like, wait, this isn't. Oh dear. And he's got a sense of worry, both for uh both for the person potentially harmed and his involvement in the matter.
Which, by the way, Silas, you do manage to reach up to the 7th floor and you kick in the door. And you could see 7th floor is somewhat compromised. The main office that Melf was sitting in, which is approximately about 12 offices down, it is completely blown apart. There is fire, there are teachers running, there's even a couple students. You see this one elderly gnomish lady actually pinned underneath a collapsed cubicle. And she is not able to get it off of her. She's just screaming.
Is it on fire, or did it just fall over?
There's only a few smoldering embers on it, but it's mostly intact with not a major burn.
All right. He's going to quickly go over and help this lady best as he can. Try to lift it and get her free. But he'll go over and say, "Are you hurt, ma'am?"
Oh, dearie. Oh, dear. Oh, no. I didn't expect explosion. I was just sitting at my desk and, preparing for the lesson plans, and there was this blast. Oh no. Oh, dear. Oh, is everyone okay? Oh.
And you can see she is panicking.
Ma'am, I highly doubt everyone's okay, but the important thing is you are in fact one of the people who can be okay. So let's hurry up and get you out of there. Let's make sure that we can take care of as many people as we can.
I'll go down. I'll go get one of the deans.
And you see that this, even for her fragile old age, and you can definitely tell she is in her old age, definitely hustling. You're still in the office complex. What are you doing?
I'd like to survey the damage done to the immediate hallway to see if it is stable to proceed down, to kind of like get closer to the explosion, like source.
Roll a perception check.
Perception. That's a 13.
Double 13s. Okay. Well, from what you can tell, thanks to this perception check, there's definitely some parts that look kind of ragged. There's definitely debris from parts of the ceiling collapsed down from the explosion. There's a few light fixtures that definitely got blown out. Some fires here and there, but there might be a shot to get to the office, or just to traverse down the hallway safely.
Sallus, ever the grump goes, "Oh, I guess I've faced worse with mom and dad," and he is going to attempt to navigate the devastated hallway.
Righty, you are planning to navigate the hallway, and with that, I'm going to ask you for a favor, if you would, Sallus. Please roll me an athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
I'm gonna go with acrobatics. Shocker, I know. That's 12. I'm gonna use inspiration on that.
By all means, please use an inspiration.
18.
Much better, because you failed that by 2 on the first roll.
Whew. Mm.
So, you, Sallus, managed to start making your way through this damaged, destroyed hallway. At one point, a piece of the upper ceiling comes down, and you just manage to immediately sidestep off as it crashes down. And you can see flames already starting to go inside of it, almost like a cooking kennel. So, with that, you have about, I'd say, let me actually look at this real world map that I've actually created here for this exact reason. You have about 45 feet until you can reach Professor Melf's now blown apart office.
Okay. Is there any immediate change? Like, is the damage stronger here? I imagine it
The
would be,
damage
right?
is much stronger, and in fact, you can see that if you continue to head on a straight shot, there is a pretty substantial size fire that's blocking your path, and you can tell it's only gotten worse because some of the wooden beams from the upper offices must have came down and fueled it. However, if you want to find a way around it, you can make another perception check.
I would like to do this. Yes.
Then please roll a perception check.
That's an 11.
Ooh.
Would it help if I look for something specific? I'm trying. I'm gonna see if there's like a fire in the hallway ahead of me, and there's all of these like, all of these offices. I'd like to dip into one of them and see if perhaps a wall has been blown out. You know, video game logic.
Interesting. Here, let me bust out your colored dice for this one. I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna roll a d6 here. Alright. There are 6 offices. Which one do you want to look into first?
From my position, I'm assuming there's like I'm kind of in the middle of the hallway. There's 3 on my left, 3 on my right.
Correct.
I'm gonna go to the top right.
Top right. Alrighty, please go in. As you enter into this office, you see that one of the light fixtures has dangerously come low and pretty damn close. And in fact, you can tell this is not a good office to be in for the top right. But you do notice that there is a small plank that happens to be actually on the wall itself, leading up into the upper level.
Sallus is gonna go over to the plank. Jeez. He's going to see if he can't take a hammer and a python and hammer the python into the board to kind of stabilize it and then walk across.
All right. If you're going to do that, I'm going to need to, let me see, what would this be? It's pretty crafty, I'm not gonna lie. Let me take a look at your thing, just to be, let's see, what would this be? If you don't mind me, CG, I actually would like you to do a survival check.
Ooh. I'm
Sorry.
kind of good at that. 11?
It's crude. Definitely crude. You definitely wish you had better materials, but what you got's what you got, so you create this crude little device, and it looks like it could withstand it. It looks like you'll be able to go through.
Time's of the essence. I ain't got a chance to do this. No chance to do this proper. and he's going to attempt to navigate.
Okay. That's what you're going to do. I would like one more survival.
18.
Much better. Good news, Sallus. As you begin to navigate your way through, you actually manage to see a part within one of the offices that has a wall blown out. Problem is, there's definitely a nice size, well, crevice that has formed in the floor. But you think that you might be able to actually vault that if need be. Or, just lay something across.
See if I have anything to lay across. Oh wow, this probably won't work, but I'm gonna try it anyways.
What are you
So
doing?
there's this crevice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a fair amount of debris nearby?
Oh, there's plenty of debris. You've got broken support beams that have just been blasted off. You've got destroyed desks. You got cabinets that have fallen over. Some look like they're scorched beyond the 5th degree and are still burning hot. You've got fires going off left and right. Hell, in fact, you see a stack of papers that definitely were on what appeared to be probably have been on one of the desks that just became an immediate inferno.
Okay, so I'd like to see if I can find part of the floor for this gaping hole, like some debris nearby, and I'd like to cast mending to see if I can't affix it back to the center so that I could get a better chance to jump across.
All right. I will say roll me another survival with advantage because you are using the mending spell to formulate and create almost this makeshift bridge.
That's a 23.
Excellent. You're good. You managed to find support beams here and there, pieces of desks that actually still look like they're strong enough to be put together to kind of form like this step area. And as you cast mending on each piece, meticulously working quick as can be, you formulate and create this artificial bridge.
All right. I'm going to proceed across it.
Perfect. As you proceed across, it takes you over the crevice, and do you look down?
Yeah, I imagine so. For no other reason to see what's below.
As you look down, you notice what appears to be a young man, an elf, looking up at you with whited out eyes and what appears to be a very sharpened piece of support beam plunged deep into his chest cavity.
Oh, man. Oh, gods. Poor guy. Does he look familiar by any chance?
He doesn't look familiar in the slightest.
Gods damn it. Sallus is going to keep going.
Righty. As you cross over, you can see that not even 10 feet from you is the entrance to Professor Melf's office. It's definitely, you can tell that whatever door was there, it's gone. In fact, it looks incinerated, because if the blast didn't take it, the immediate snap fire definitely did.
Well, if the door's gone, like, is it just pure inferno in there, or can I see inside?
There's definitely an inferno within there, but if you're wanting to get a closer look in there, you're definitely going to have to make your way into it if you're wanting to see.
I've had worse, and he's gonna head on in.
Alrighty, you're actually going in. Okay,
Yes.
please do me a favor. Roll me, again, at your choice of athletics or acrobatics.
16.
Right, so good news for you. Your damage just got extremely reduced. You're only going to be taking 2 points. Well, actually, because of your heritage, you'll be knocked down to 1 point of fire damage. Just a few embers kind of get onto you, and you quickly snuff them off. But as you go into Professor Melf's office... Sallus, what's your passive perception?
16.
Interesting. Alright. You see within this office that was once pretty nice and beautiful. It's absolutely destroyed. Gone. Half of the gifts that were in this office also are gone. Though you do notice something interesting. You notice a few of those gifts still survived. They're damaged, but survived. A couple scrolls, a couple almost what seems like jewelry. And of course, one in particular that's, well, it's ashy, but it almost seems like a stick that's been wrapped in some pretty nice wrapping paper. You can't tell what's inside, though, but it looks like it survived and is relatively unharmed. Are you looking for Professor Melf, though?
Yes. I'm also seeing if I can find the box that I gave her.
Alrighty. Well, you do find her. Well, you look over to where Professor Melf was sitting. A massive amount of debris has currently covered that area. And at first you think, maybe they jumped out, maybe they're safe. And then you notice a right hand poking out of the debris, charred, beyond third-degree burns, down to the bone at some places. Unmoving, unflinching.
Oh, damn it. Oh. Sorry, Professor. What a terrible way to go. Just to satiate his curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
he'd like to walk on over and get a good look at the body or try to move some debris.
If you're going to get a look at the body and try to move the debris, I'm going to have to ask that you roll an athletics, because this is a lot of debris.
That's 7.
Oh, well, I got some tough news for you, buddy. You ain't moving shit. The weight is just too much, even for you. You're desperately trying to lift, but to no avail. You would need someone. You'd need Goldblum just to be able to move half of this stuff, and you don't have the time to get Goldblum.
I don't have the time for anything. This area is unstable as is. Screw it. It's probably not going to be enough, but I gotta try, right? I'm going to attempt to cure wounds on the body.
You will attempt to use Cure Wounds. I'm just gonna say this right now, Sallus. As
Ain't
you
worth it.
go, there's not even a pulse.
Fuck. God damn it. Sallus is just gonna look down and like he goes to kick some debris, then realizes it's probably not a good idea, and goes, just God damn it. He's going to look around. I guess kind of get a good idea of the scene as much as possible. Just kind of take it all in.
Of course. It's definitely a scene of chaos, of destruction, and worst of all, murder. You know that for a fact. You lost your professor. You can definitely tell that there's probably more than just that one elf man that's dead lying down there. So, it's hard. It's tough. In fact, at one point, you're actually having to swallow down almost what seems like a lump in your throat.
God damn it. Dejected and defeated, Sallus is going to make his way out of the office best as he can.
All right. I'm not gonna go through this entire full scene, but I would ask that you please roll me a survival.
21.
Successfully managed to avoid any of the collapsing debris, the pitfalls, the fire. As you reach the stairs and you hurry your way down, as well as a few holdout faculty members and some student body that were on the much upper levels of the complex. And you head down, knowing full well your teacher's gone. We will cut from Sallus's scene. Daedalus!
Hi.
Daedalus, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, just fine. Well, got a letter from Mom. Found out that I'm not alone in knowing the owls are up to something, and currently headed to a school store, I believe.
Alright. You make your...
Also, since there's now time, could I cash in that DM IOU for success on making my spell?
You know what? Yeah. Cash it in, buddy.
There we go.
Cash. Redeem the DM fun bucks.
There we go. So, well, I can't really do much because it's just an item in my inventory currently.
Fair enough, fair enough.
But yeah, so that's 2 successes, I believe. Not sure how many I need for a second level spell.
For a second level spell, yeah, just 2. You're fine on that one.
Alright, so I'm heading to the school store because I still need the material to actually record into my thing. I just completed all my notes on how to put it in.
Perfect, perfect. Daedalus!
Yes.
As you're walking by, what's your passive perception, buddy?
That'd be a 13.
13. Would it be enough? Interesting. Daedalus! As you're walking by, heading down to the school store, you turn around and for a split second, you could have sworn you saw someone in a black cloak walking the same direction you were.
Hmm?
As you double take, not there.
Well, that was ominous. Oh well. Goes back to heading towards the school store, while also composing a letter back to his mother in his head, and also noting that he still needs to show the letter to Iapetus, because they'll also like to probably see a letter from Mom.
Of course. Takes you a little bit, but you managed to find the school store, no problem. You've been down there kind of ogling some of the textbooks that are for sale, that are for the more advanced levels. Some outside sources, some, and believe it or not, there's a couple knickknacks and trinkets in there. In fact, you actually saw a cage that held a nice little sprite in there, with the advertisement of 20,000 gold for familiar.
That's odd, considering that the spell to summon one of those would only be $100 gold. You know what? I'm not here for the markup. Excuse me? Excuse me? Garçon? What's the word? I don't know what that is. Shopkeep? Yes.
Hold on. Give me a second. Oh boy. You see, rising up, deep behind the counter, is a Fearbolg. A kind of nice pair of small circular glasses. Kind of ruffled hair, kind of messy all over. The beard, though, that's like a goat's. Except, if a goat had a beard that was about 3 feet in length. What can I help you with, sir?
Ah, yes. Hello. Delos von Vente. Pleasure to meet you. I was wondering if I could interest you in a certain venture.
Certain. Hold on 1 second. Kind of leans in. You ain't with one of them Cult of the Dragon people, are you?
No. I did not know that was even a thing.
Good. Getting tired of seeing their freaking mails advertising for joining in the New Order. Ain't no New Order. The only order I know is the order of all these, and he just immediately slaps the shelf behind him. Beautiful, beautiful books.
Oh yes, they are gorgeous. But no, this is a venture of the business variety.
Kind of leans in and goes, "Alright, I want to hear. What you got, boy?"
Alright, well he immediately opens up the notebook that he has, Daedalus is one of those kind of people who just kind of tucks things onto things. So he's got a notebook attached to the front of his spellbook. And he's like, as you can see here, I've got the notes and basic gist of how to create a second level spell that I believe would be very valuable in an academic setting. The problem is I do not have the materials needed to properly record into my own spellbook. So, doing what my mom always told me of seizing an opportunity, I figured I could possibly license the distribution of this spell to you for, say, 20% of the purchases, as well as the components needed for me to create it. And a spell scroll to give to you, so that way you can copy it.
Second Daedalus, I'm busting out your dice. Which are the opposite color of Sallus's dice, funnily enough. Interesting. He actually looks at this and goes, Picking up your book and taking a look at it, you see he adjusts his glasses up, and for a split second, the light perfectly reflects off of the lenses. Not bad. Somewhat reliable. Definitely can work. I mean, I wouldn't mind financing something like this. Kind of leans in more into the book. Yeah, it definitely could work. Managed to get the right components. This will work. This will work. I don't know, boy. I mean, it looks, on paper, it looks good, but And he hands you back the book. Still not convinced. Gonna have to sell a little better.
Well,
And he kind of just folds his arms. So, do what any good ascribing mage would do. Sell your product.
oh, okay. 1 second here. The second he says that. Okay, should go. Come on, roll 20. Go off. There it is. Oh no. Why did it do so? Let me make sure it's going off proper. There it is.
Card person.
He said sell him on it. He didn't say do it. He didn't say there was any rules. So that is a DC 12.
Give me 1 second. DC 12, you say?
Yes, I'm only a level 3 wizard.
It's a wisdom. Sallus, for a moment, his eyes kind of furrow in. And you think, oh shit, fucked up. And then they just kind of smooth over, glassing. Oh, it ain't too bad.
Indeed. I mean, this spell will record anything audibly said within a 60-foot area, meaning that it is perfect for the classroom. You are running a store on a campus of not 1, but 5 different colleges of different magical styles. Any wizard being able to record this would already be an instant 250 gold in your pocket for just selling a single scroll. Repeat customers such as warlocks, druids, any other type of casters, they would all have to come in, and again, 250 just to record a single lecture. All I'm asking is for 20%, as well as to cover the cost of the materials to first create the spell in my own spellbook, and then create a spell scroll to give to you, so that way you may copy it and then begin selling. I think that's more than a fair amount.
That sounds like a bargain.
It really is.
You see him kind of just like really dumb smiled. And he immediately turns and goes, "Hold on, let me get you some items." And
Yay.
he immediately disappears into the back room.
Oh, well, I have already opened up the doc, so I'm going to start getting ready to copy this spell from my Word document into my spell list. And for those who know, we have just financed Daedalus' terrific transcriber!
Which? Hey, Daedalus.
Yeah?
Nah, don't worry about it.
Okie dokie.
It takes about 10, maybe 15 minutes. But he comes back. And immediately you see just this happy face on him. He immediately slaps down the items and goes, "There you go."
Fantastic. I will bring the scroll to you as soon as I finish making it.
Of course.
Alright, after that, Daedalus will happily just take all of the inks and paper he needs, and then head back towards probably where last he would expect Iapetus to be.
Of course. Speaking of which, Daedalus,
Yes.
do me a favor.
Okay.
Roll me a perception check.
Alright, 1 second. There we go. Perception. That is a 7.
Alright. Don't have to worry about it.
Groovy.
You just immediately head on back.
Alrighty.
Epitus, we will be cutting over to you.
Oakley dokley. So quick question, Jay Frost.
Of course.
Was everything that happened with Sallus happening like concurrently to us looking around and doing what we were doing?
Yes, everything has been happening in concurrence.
So, was that building in any way, shape, or form in proximity to where we were? Because I
No.
would imagine it's okay. Because I was gonna say explosion that big, no one heard or felt anything. Okay. So
No,
then,
for you, you're actually quite a distance from the one faculty facility.
gotcha. Okay. So then, Aevatus is kind of like rummaging through her thoughts aloud. Just, "Ah, all right, cool. Well, got the job. That's a start. I'll have funds to figure out, I guess, my spells and supplies that I'll need. Um, all right, so we're gonna have an exam at some point, and she's saying all of this like while she's walking towards where the library was, because I believe she was going to go study and then she was gonna go check out the school store. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Along the way, if she sees Professor Sharkbeak, she's going to interact with her, like greet her, strike up a conversation.
Of course, of course. You make your way down and well, hold on, let me roll for this. Interesting. Okay, I need to bring up something from the encounters table. Do give me just 1 second. Da, 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 da. Interesting. Let me roll one more dice. This is actually going to be a fun one to see if it happens.
Oh, goody.
And it is going to happen. Iapetus,
We?
as you're heading to try to find Professor Sharpie, you notice one student desperately tugging on a kind of what looks to be like a reinforced leash. Only for them to immediately get flung into the room that they're trying to tug in on. For a split second, you see a serpentine tail kind of flicker out the door.
This is going to catch her attention immediately. Like all the mumbling she was doing, just, all right, I'll get to the library. I have to read over the notes from the general. What the? She's going to, like approach that doorway because she's completely curious at this point. She wants to know what that was about, but also to see if that student needs help.
Well, funny you mention that. Give me just 1 second. I need to save this. Iapetus.
Yes.
Let me make sure it's all good, all Gucci. As you open this door, you notice the student currently dealing with what appears to be a pretty hairy situation.
Oh dear.
And I mean, well, not hairy, but definitely scale-ish situation.
Uh, um, if it looks like I can lend her a hand, well, I guess what do I see now that I guess I'm looking through the doorway other than Harry's situation? Like, has this possible serpent thing like tangled her up?
Considering, well, not tangled, grappled. You're looking
Oh
into
dear.
this doorway. You see a student currently being pinned by a. Hold on, let me Let me see if I could pull up a picture of this for you. You see, actually, no, I'll hold off on the picture. You see a 8-legged serpentine creature with spikes protruding from the top of its head all the way down to the near end of its tail.
Oh
Got
my.
claws on each for its feet. It's definitely clawed feet. Gaping maw. The strangest thing about this creature, other than it being pretty freaking big sized, it's wearing a monocle and a top hat.
It is a Sir Snake. Okay. Um, so Iapis is gonna like yell out to the student if it looks like the student is able to at least speak. She's gonna yell out, "Hey, are you all right? Like, is this a pet?"
Interesting. What's your passive perception, if you don't mind me inquiring?
I believe it is a 13.
Alright. So this actually wouldn't be too hard. It is a big creature, but you can see part of the student's body's graying out, looking pretty dry for some reason, and they're looking panicked. And as soon as you say that, the creature looks directly at you. Please do me a favor. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, goody.
Oh no.
Button. Oh, feck. Welp. Doo-doo-boo-doo-boo.
Boy!
I am prepared for shit.
Well, ain't this a fucking bitch?
Why
This
we
creature
need
looks
you?
at you, and its eyes begin to glow. It's looking very, very aggressive. And for a split second, you feel petrified in fear.
Oh no.
Well, that petrification's starting to feel quite real as you look down and you notice you're starting to turn to stone.
Oh, fuck me. Great. I don't know if I can do anything about that. Can my like upper body still move around?
Yes, you can still make some movement. However, I will say this right now. If you're wanting to try to get yourself free from this,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have to make another Constitution saving.
Got it. So, reason why I ask that question is because since I am technically still in the doorway of the room, I was going to see if there was like a teacher or professor or someone else in the hallway nearby that I could yell out to.
Alright. If you would like to make a yell, go ahead.
Doke. Well, do I see a teacher or anyone in the hallway?
Nope. You only see students.
Cool. Guys! Yo! Help! Like, there's a fucking creature, like, I can't fucking move! Like, we need help, like, now! And I guess with that, I guess the only thing I could try to do is get out of that situation. Because I kind of I want to move, but I still want to help them, unless I can, like, try to attack it?
Of course.
I guess, can I attack it without hurting the person?
If you wish to attack it without hurting them, go ahead. But
Otherwise,
you still do need to make a Constitution saving throw. Because
then
you
I'll
are
just
dealing with the effects of petrification.
Then yeah, I'll just do the save, and
Okay.
hopefully someone will appear. Oh goody button! Yay!
Well. Good news for you, Iapetus. You managed to break free of this.
Ew.
Though I can definitely tell you, it ain't pretty, because, oh boy. You're definitely dealing with some, effects of having to shake off that petrification.
Crap. Would I recognize what that was then that attacked me?
Roll me a history or arcana of your choice. Nature. You know, tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Let's try Arcana.
Hey!
Oh, natural 20! Oh, you definitely know what the hell this thing is, considering the fact that... Surprise, surprise! You read about this in a book. That's a basilisk. And a student just smuggled one of these things in here.
Good fucking grief. Okay. So then, does it seem like anyone has reacted to my call at
A
all?
few students are looking at you kind of quizzically, going, what the hell are you talking about?
Shit. Let me check something. So since I'm aware of what this is, oh dang. Can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. That wouldn't count. Crap. Since no one's reacting, I'm gonna say again, we are dealing with a basilisk. I need help or find a professor. And after that, I'm gonna try to like magic missile the basilisk while I'm stepping back into the hallway.
Magic missile the basilisk.
Yep.
Oh boy. Please
The
roll me
stepping-
magic missile.
Okay, the stepping back into the hallway is to see if I can at least get other people to notice that this is actually a serious issue.
Of course. And by the way, what level are you casting this at?
Oh, this is serious business, so I guess I'll do level 2. I know something was supposed to pop up that tells me that, but it didn't
Magic
pop
missile,
up.
it's an auto hit, so you just press the button 3 more
Yeah,
times.
you just press it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So press it again.
3 more times. 1,
3 more
2, 3.
times.
Roger.
Once more.
One more time.
There it
One
goes.
more time. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
If possible, I'm trying to like distract it basically with the attacks to like get it off of the person so that maybe they'll live.
Well, you definitely got off of it because now it's got its sights on you.
Cool.
So, with that, let me just do something right here. I'm gonna go and put this on. Should
I'm
start to...
finna die.
Don't forget, you have weapons. You are a wizard who can actually fight.
Yes, but I'm fighting on my own. This is more about survival. I don't want to win this battle. I
This
just
is
want to
not-
escape.
I'm just making sure you remember all your options.
Oh, wait, I'm trying.
Actually, that wasn't the one I wanted to play. Hold on one second.
Don't forget the Joestar bloodline technique as well.
See, I thought about that.
Nindarundayo!
But then I could end up an interesting statue that I don't want to end up as.
I mean, you're fighting a basilisk. No matter what, you're going to end up as an interesting statue.
Fair point. The question is that something I want to show now?
Well, the question is, are you gonna fight it, or are you gonna run like hell?
Well, I have its attention, right?
Oh yeah, it's attentive on you, and it's gearing up to look like it's about to pounce on you.
Cool, awesome. So since I have its attention, I am running like hell, but before I do that, I'm going to use like kinetic jaunt on myself and fucking book it.
You are booking it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And I'm basically like flagging down teacher, help, if I see a security bot. Like, I'm basically trying to get someone's attention because I want to keep the basilisk's attention, but I do want to see if someone can protect or save that person who was in the room.
Of course, of course. You immediately begin hauling ass, just trying to get the hell out of there, because this thing is now chasing on you quick.
Does
But-
anyone in the hallway know that this is a basilisk now and taking it serious?
Oh yeah, they see it, and let me roll for their reactions, because I'm actually kind of curious on how they're going to react. High or low?
Let's go low.
Going low. Ooh.
Yeah, high or
Oh,
low never goes
no.
well for us.
So, they see this thing. Everybody's running. Because that's a big-ass fucking basilisk.
That's fair. As they should be.
And in fact, I'm actually gonna do something. Gonna save something here, just to make sure.
Also, do I know what hallway I'm in right now?
You are... Yes, you do know which hallway you're in. You're in the Arcanomancy hallway. Basically, it's General Arcane Studies, hall, rooms, and everything else.
Am I
Which-
close to any of my party members?
You... roll me a history check. Please and thank you.
Of course. Reason why I asked is because if I am, I'd like to start shooting messages like all over the place. And letting them know to avoid that hallway unless they're helping, because Basilisk hallway.
Of course, of course.
And that was an 11.
You could have sworn you know one of your party members is just coming out of a class right now. You just don't know which one.
Shite. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna keep booking it. If I run into them, I guess I'll kind of like hold that ability to yell, "Hey, Basilisk, in hallway! If either run like hell or help. We need to find help."
FYI, message isn't that far. If you're nearby, then they'll see the basilisk.
Well, you get what I mean. Like, just in case, like they're in their class coming out, but they don't necessarily like see it immediately.
I'm just letting you know so you don't rely on it. Like you might be thinking, it's only 120 feet.
Got you. That's what I meant. Like, if I'm like near them, not like just shooting it out there. I mean, like if while I'm running, I actually like encounter them, so to speak.
No problem, no problem. And in fact, we're actually going to have something fun occur. Hey, Goldblum!
Yes.
You're coming out of one of your classes! And what's your passive perception, if you don't mind me inquiring?
Only a 12.
You don't see him.
Boy, that was lightning.
So, with that, You're still looking for someone, correct, Iapetus?
Yes. In regards, like, as I'm running, I'm warning people, hey, run, basilisk behind me. But, like, if I see someone I know that'll help, yeah, I'm looking for him.
You see a bunch of students coming out of a classroom. And if you want to, please roll me a perception check.
Will do. Button. 14.
See, one of those classmates is pretty tall and where that looks almost like Goldblum.
Yelling. Goldblum! Yo! Goldblum, look out!
Huh? Look at what?
Basilisk! Hallway!
Look at-
Chasing me!
You want me to look at it?
Probably not! But wave down your teacher if you can, and let's keep moving. We need to get out into, like, an open space.
Alright.
Do you have anything that can, like, obscure its vision?
As you're saying this, that basilisk is starting to gain traction on you.
I got nothing. Let's go.
All right, and they're like hoofing it. Did his professor notice anything or hear anything?
The professor. In fact, I'm not sure actually. You know what? Here, go Blue. Do you look inside your classroom?
I would, yes.
You see your professor kind of just sitting at the desk, taking a sip of coffee. And they look up, still noticing you out in the hallway with the door still open, going, Mr. Goldblum, can I help you?
Basilisk!
Basil what?
There's a basilisk out here, I guess.
Mr. Goldblum.
Should I look at it?
No! First and foremost, you'd never look at a basilisk. Second of all, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There is no such thing as a basilisk in these hallways. And as he goes out, he sees this thing and goes, oh dear god, there's a basilisk out in the hallway.
You're not supposed to look at it. You just told me.
Immediately goes, sorry, Mr. Goldblum, let me get security on, and slams the door shut.
Oh, do I see? Does I able to see this?
You see a doorway immediately getting shut.
Oh, you've gotta be fucking kidding. So, are most of the students, like, in front of me, or are they still, like, running up behind me? Because if so, I'm gonna do something kinda risky, but needs to happen to, like, slow it down if it works.
You see this thing gaining quick speed on you.
Okay. So it's probably within about 15 feet.
Yeah, within 15 feet.
Cool. Goldblum! You're gonna have to cover me on this, man. And I bet this is gonna stop, about face, and burning hands outward.
Burning hands. Alrighty, and I believe... Could you please click on the spell for me?
Sure. Oh, there we go. I get to choose the level. Neat. We're gonna do this at a 2, which will take my second slot, and that's fine by me.
Alright, I'm gonna click the spell description, and it's got to make a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Both of those are
It's
gone.
What's your spell save DC?
Herpy derp derp derp.
12.
Apparently it's a 12, but I wasn't sure if I needed to check my sheet.
Oh.
It says it right above your damage.
Well, I got some bad news for you.
Oh,
It passed,
okay.
but good news. I think. Let me roll for this. Oh, definitely good news.
Yay.
You see, after the commotion, you see a red-haired woman immediately yell out, "Get in this room quick!"
Where is the redhead woman in the room?
Approximately 60 feet away from you.
Cool. Going to try to book it towards there, and if I can, if Goldblum didn't hear it, signal it to him so that he knows to follow me.
I
You
will
don't
get in
have to
this room
tell me
quick.
twice.
You immediately go in this room, and you notice, as you are put into here, the red-haired woman appears to be human. Young, you could definitely tell, but unsure. We're gonna pause the music here for a moment. You two are dragged into this, what appears to be almost like this commons room. And she goes, "Are you two okay?"
You're gonna have to. If by okay, you mean almost stoned literally by a basilisk? I guess. Oh, fuck. There's.
Where the hell did you get a basilisk?
I didn't get it. It's not mine. I was coming back from the Fire Jolt Cafe, minding my business, saw a student get yanked into a room, and when I walked into the room to see if they were all right, they were wrapped up by what I now know as a basilisk. I tried to help them out because their body was turning gray, and so I got its attention and started running down the hall as I called for help.
I see that. Oh, goodness. Well, it's a good thing you're safe. She looks to you, Goldblum. What about you? Are you okay?
Yes, I was already gray.
This woman just stares daggers at you and goes, "Is that a joke?"
You're gonna
No,
hear a slightly slow clap while like wheezing is happening. Just
I mean, look at me. I am gray. Does that mean I'm immune?
No, not a whole lot of things are immune to a basilisk's petrifying gaze. But
Oh.
maybe I'm being a little too facetious. I'm sorry. Anyways, good thing we got you out of there. Otherwise, you'd be. Boom.
what just
Hear a
happened
massive
there?
thump.
Yeah, same. It sounded like
Oh,
something
no.
hit a microphone.
Apologies.
The basilisk is starting to break down the door.
The
Oh,
basilisk
here.
is. You hear that thing slam into the door. Thank you, Wiley. I'm gonna need to borrow that for about a few more times.
Oh God. I will turn that down because that was a bit loud.
Yes, it
Oh, I
was.
like that. Yeah, you're good.
I mean, he's a big boy. It probably
He
would be
is.
loud.
Very big boy. If he was standing on his hind legs, he'd definitely be reaching up to near Goldblum height.
Oh no.
So she goes, "Oh, shit. I thought it was stupid. No, it knows exactly where we are." And Wiley, if you could please do it 2 more times. You
So
hear it
I guess on the bright side, the
slamming.
kid might be safe. Oh, Oh man. So, whew. While I guess she's I'm kind of leaning against like a wall, but facing the
Mhm.
door just in case this thing decides to burst like through the door. So is there anything maybe that we could push against this door, um, just in case for reinforcement until help arrives? What is with the school?
Sure. Yeah. Hold on. Let's look around. Look around. For those of you looking to find anything to barricade the door, please roll me perception checks.
Sweet.
Would casting mending on it help? If it's like cracking?
It's an interesting question, actually.
And I rolled a 7. I can help him with mending in the meantime if that happens.
Shit. Nope.
So
As you're all looking around for things to do, you see the cracks begin to form more and more on the door, and you're casting mending. And
Mm.
for a couple brief moments, it looks like it's working. It looks like you're able to repair the door. Until a fist-sized hole appears with one of the legs kind of wobbling out, scratching at the door itself.
All
The
right.
bumping becomes louder and louder until finally the door breaks.
Is there anyone in here that knows, like, something that can blind this thing briefly or that can make this room dark so it can't see us? We need to not be in its vision.
Shit. Not that I have. And as you're looking around, there's torchlight, there's a roaring fireplace going. The room's well lit, unfortunately.
Damn, above game. If I knew whether or not I could choose my spells earlier, I could have done something. But oh well.
Let's not mention that, considering you're gonna be able to use some of those spells.
Well, it's also technically
Oh.
not been a day since the last time we finished playing.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I can't use it.
Don't worry, you'll be fine, because guess what?
Sentry bot? Or no, Professor Narlock. That's worse. That's almost worse.
Nope. We got a map!
Hey!
Hey.
Yeah, hopefully y'all can see it.
I cannot.
I can see.
Huh. That's weird.
Oh, you have to drag them to like some other part or something in the map.
Ah, that's why. Here.
Their token, yeah. I think. I don't know.
I'm gonna put you all in the glorious place known as White Space. Don't know why, but
Or maybe not. I was wrong.
I can see the map at least.
I'm not in the scene and I can see it.
I can see it too.
Tell me
Huh.
which one it is, because technically I still have DM privilege, so I can just pop into whatever map I want.
Oh,
it'll be
that's why.
It'll be Untitled.
Oh,
You'll see it
because
down.
does it not count you as a player then?
I
Interesting.
guess. I don't know.
When
Gonna have
Well,
to fix that.
It's
No,
it's
no,
the
no.
classroom one at the bottom.
I'm already
Yeah.
there.
if you are a DM changing so like the DM moves the little tab of where the people are, so it will automatically put the players there, but if you are a DM, it does not automatically put you there.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Gonna have to fix that. But oh well.
I can see what's happening now. It doesn't matter.
Yes. Which is great because guess
But
who's
can we
getting
hear?
combat time?
Oh, goody.
We're gonna go back to that favorite playlist of ours.
Yay!
We're in
Combat.
danger.
Alrighty.
I can take it.
Which is great, because Iepetus,
Yes.
Goldbloom, I'm
Is it
gonna
time?
need you two to do me a favor, and I need to do this to make sure that everything's a-okay, hunky-dory. 1 second.
9.
Rossi.
Oh.
Alright, frog. We have
Just
help,
having
guy. Oh, damn.
Just gonna clear some stuff out.
Hey.
You got a decimal?
Oh yeah, there's
yeah.
there's a way to put decimals on here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to break a tie.
Yeah.
In the cog, it is add Dex tiebreaker to initiative. There's an option to do that.
So, with that,
Oh, that's weird. I tapped initiative and it said you wanted to send the results of this roll to the turn
Oh,
tracker, but no
top-
valid token
here,
for second.
you gotta click on your character's token
Yeah.
Yep.
once, and then click
Got
the
it.
initiative roll.
There you go.
That's much better. Yeah, it really does.
It feels
You could
strange
say it's
being
in
a boy.
pocket
I'm not
space.
sure if I like it here. Look,
I should
you're
say
in the
that in
you're
there.
in the
You see a chili
cafe
dog
with
flying by you.
you're in the cafe with tea and crumpets, and that cinnamon blossom apple blossom I gave you.
Oh, that's right. Lemon. And I'm gonna need to do 2 rolls. I'm gonna use the red die and the blue die for this one. Actually, no. This gal's gonna use the green. Because they're great. Ooh. Interesting. Oh.
Oh,
Wait a
God.
minute. So, who's got the higher dex? Probably the druid. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. So I'm gonna need to add 2 people in here.
Fast frost fingers. Ow.
Hey, don't use my namesake.
For those in chat, I'm reading our
Oh, they
roll
can see
20
it.
chat and just dying.
They can see
Oh
it.
my god. Oh, okay.
Listen, who Frost Fingers is up to him and it's his own business. We don't need to concern about that.
You know, I was waiting for somebody to do that. I was waiting for somebody to do that. God damn it. Well.
It is eternal.
Oh boy.
Casts leaves while Daedalus is distracted. Oh my
No.
fucking god.
But anyways, we are at the top of initiative.
Oh, please doke.
This. You're at the top of initiative.
Alright. So then first, I guess I will, if it's a free action to speak, I'll say we should surround it, guys. We need to spread out so that we're not all within its viewpoint. Otherwise it can stone all of us easily. And as I say that, I am going to move I guess this is, I think, 5 feet or 10 feet diagonally to there,
Alright.
if I can.
It growls menacingly with its top hat and monocle.
Because it is a sir. And then I always misplace where this is, but I'm going to use a green flame blade and I'm going to take out that short blade that I have. I'm just trying to find it.
Should it? Is this thing a large creature or medium?
I don't know. I know it's a biggin though. He said it's almost as tall as
I will tell you above game,
Goldblum.
it is a medium creature. It would be as
Okay.
tall as Goldblum if it's standing on its hind legs. But
Oh. Okay.
standing on all 8 of its legs, it's as big as a fucking tiger.
hot damn. Alright.
Meow.
So then yeah, I'm going to use Green Flame Blade. I was just trying to find the weapon. I always misplace that one area on this sheet.
By all means, do what you need to. Give me just 1 second.
Do-do-do. Quick question. Where would that weapon be? I figured it'd be under items, but I always miss it.
It'll be under magical arms, and you'll see the S for short blade.
Gotcha. Cool. Because I have 2 S's. That's why I was like, oh no. So I wanted to use Green Flame Blade for that. So cool.
Okay. So
And
it goes off of the initial attack, correct?
Yeah.
yes.
And
But
your
I need
attack
to
is
press
a.
green.
Of course. And your attack is a. Now, quick question.
Yeah.
Someone jog my memory. Is it the Green Flame Blade spell attack that's the one you use, or the magical arm?
I'm
attack?
using the spell. I'm using the cantrip.
Okay, so Green Flame Blade basically is. Here, let me
I'd have to look it up because I don't. Outside of Zai, I don't know anyone who would actually choose that cantrip.
I thought it was neat. It's you brandish the weapon used in the spell's casting and make a melee attack with it against one creature within 5 feet of you. On a hit, the target suffers the weapon's attack normal's effects, and you can cause green fire to leap from the target to a different creature of your choice.
Okay, so let me answer this with this. Hey, CG, I'm borrowing you for a quick second.
Yeah, what's up?
Green Flame Blade, is it that spell's attack roll that you use, or is it the magical arm?
You would use the cantrip attack.
Okay, perfect. So, what is the attack on it, Zai, if you don't mind me?
It's just a melee attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything until
Plain,
5th level.
yeah.
And even then, technically, it doesn't do anything to the creature you're targeting. You just have to hope something's next to it.
It's a. It's for like clearing out ads, several. It hits 2 things basically.
But there's
Well,
Okay. Well, that's fine. Either way, if it distracts it, it'll open up things so other people can attack it, and I'll have its attention.
But it only has a 5-foot radius, so you're gonna need to get closer.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
close enough? Ah, so
nope,
be it.
you ain't close.
Well, then I meant to move closer then. Like, off to the side, but closer. So I guess... I have... I'm imagining Kinetic Jaunt wore off already, so then I probably have... It's only the 35 and not 45. So yeah. I should be able to get at least to here? Yeah.
Well, you have way more movement than that. You could be literally right next to it.
Yeah.
Well, oh, okay, because the idea was get in and then use movement to get out.
That would provoke an opportunity attack.
But I mean, hey, if
Yeah.
you're feeling that froggy, go ahead.
That's why I'm cool with right here. This should be close enough, right?
Nope.
That is 10 feet.
Nope, that's 10 feet. Alright then, well, if I die, I die.
Each of these squares is about 10 feet.
At least
So-
since you brought your magical arm, your AC goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! So there we go.
I would assume
And-
you're using your magical arm attack instead.
No, the magical arm substitutes for any weapon needed in casting of a spell.
Okay. Apologies.
No, you're fine. I too am going, what is happening? Alright, but yeah, so I'm basically doing that, and essentially gonna stay there in the attempts to like distract so that hopefully we're all not in the same eyesight of it or eye line.
Anything else you would like to do, Zai?
That's it for me.
Alright. We move on to Red's turn. Red, what do you want to do? Let me take a look at your sheet. Ah, okay. Interesting. I'm going to do this. Yours. It's wisdom, so. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna fucking hit. You watch as your compatriot immediately lifting her hand. See a small orb of flame appear. And looking at this creature, she chucks it, hitting the basilisk on the head and dishing out. Let's see how good you roll. Because, good lord, we got dice. Ah, not bad. Dishing out 5 fire damage. So let's do this. There. Alrighty. Can she do anything else that I could see? Action. Nope. Not that I can see. Alright. So that's Red's turn. Now's the Basilisk's turn. Let's do 1 for you, 2 for you, 3 for you, 4 a reroll. Neat! Iapetus.
Oh goody, yes.
As you see this basilisk shaped off the flame, it starts to look to you, and then it bolts off, gunning for Goldblum. You do have an attack of opportunity, if you would like.
Absolutely. How do attack of opportunities work in my case?
For you, I would say you have your magical arm out, correct?
Yes, I do.
You would be using that.
Cool. Alrighty, so I just click that the one time?
Yep.
Should be this one. Oh, nice!
Natural 20.
God
Please
damn.
roll damage.
Cool beans. Make sure I roll the right thing.
Just click the magical arm short sword word there. It'll auto roll it.
In the text chat.
4 + 6. Slashing damage.
And for reference, J. Frost, that is magical.
Okay. Good to know. Knocks it down quite a bit.
Did it take, now that I think about it, did it heal any of the damage that I did to it earlier with the magic missile?
Say that it was damaged. It did take damage.
Gotcha.
So I made sure to account for that. But it is going to go for a move on you. Goldblum, do me a favor first and foremost.
Yes.
I want you to please make me a DC 12. I'm so sorry, I fucked up on that. Please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, boy.
God.
Oh boy. Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Woo!
I'm already gray.
I swear to fucking Christ.
Joke's on you, I'm part stone already.
You can't touch me, brother. Gonna go
Fucking
for a
gargoyle's
light
theme
attack on you.
intensifies.
What's your AC right now?
Currently 15.
Noted. Will that even hit you? Low roll, but... plus that... Ah. Beat you by 1.
Pardon me.
So I'm gonna roll...
Oh no, the closest thing we have to a tank is taking damage.
Ah.
It's lucky it went first.
Goldblum, you will be taking 10 piercing
Ooh.
damage. Plus... Oh, I didn't see that part. 6 poison damage.
Gross.
That's all it can do. Goldblum! It's your turn! It's your time to shine! Okay, there, Goldblum!
Goldblum is in a lot of pain right now.
Oh no.
I need to reevaluate the situation. Hang on.
Evaluation.
Man, at this point, Professor
after-
Maylock is just gonna assume so much.
Wait, do we have a long rest? Because I have full slots. I don't know if I should have full slots.
You have yet to cast a spell, and since we
Yeah.
started.
I mean, like from last session. I can't remember.
We should have, because
Yeah,
we
you
had
do.
the investigation with Naylock, and then we all went back to sleep.
Okay.
You do.
And like I said, you haven't cast a spell since session 0, which was not streamed.
Could have sworn I did. Anyway. I'm casting Wither and Bloom.
DC 12. Okay. Ooh, Wither and Bloom.
And I choose myself because it doesn't say I can't. I don't think.
No, you can.
I am a creature of my choice.
Invoke both death and life upon.
Oh,
Alright. A 10-foot radius. Correct?
creatures of my choice. Both
Yep.
sides. So yes, I choose just the basilisk for damage.
Alright, so it has to make a
DC 12.
Constitution saving throw?
Yep.
Ooh, you actually have a decent Constitution. Let's see how well you handle.
And while you do that, I will roll one of my unspent hit dice.
DC...
I heal back 8.
Yeah, it was a DC 12, correct?
Yeet.
It failed by 1.
Aha, get hacked.
So, how much damage is it taking?
I guess I have to do
It's
this.
up there. It's up.
Oh, never mind. Oh, right. It takes
6.
6.
6 necrotic.
Ignore
Oh,
my
cool.
later roll.
Not bad, not bad. Cool. It actually is looking kind of sick here. Anything else you would like to do, Goldblum?
I spend my bonus action to roar at it.
You want to intimidate it?
I mean, if you allow. I just want to... He just wants to scream at it. Because that fucking hurt.
You know what? Screaming's just a free action.
Imagine a loud Goliath roar, because I ain't doing it here.
All right, Chad, you heard him. We need to get sound bites for Goliath roaring sound bites.
Wait, I do have one. Hang on.
I swear, if it's the heavy from Team Fortress 2, I'm gonna fucking sue.
No. It's
Oh,
a
when you-
hefty roar. I just
When
have
you
to
said
find it.
Goliath, I literally thought Goliath from Gargoyles, and I was like, I mean, it'd be a pros.
I don't know if that came through.
It came through, but
Replay
it's a little low.
Yeah, replay it one more time.
There you go.
Okay, in my mind, that came out as a different mental image. All
Goldblum
right.
has many layers.
Yes, like an onion.
Goldblum has many layers, Daedalus boy. Alrighty, back to the top of the round. Iepetus. What you
Yeah.
got?
Oh boy. Alrighty, so his attention is focused on Goldblum for some reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means like he's probably going for the biggest boy in the room. So
I mean, it's big meaty man. You want to slap that meat?
Okay, so then I will use. Well, question: when I used Burning Hands before, did it seem like, although it succeeded, did it seem like it didn't like that very much as far as?
Nah,
Maybe.
it kind of seemed negligible at best.
All right. Then I guess I will just magic missile it again.
Fire magic missile away.
And this is only at level 1 because I do not have any more level 2 spell slots.
Alrighty. Two more times.
There you go.
4, 5, 3. So 4, 3, 7, 5, 12. So that is gonna be. Ooh, you actually take a nice chunk of health off of this thing. As you raise your hand and send out the magic missiles, it begins to pepper this basilisk and it roars in absolute defiance and rage. Iepetus, anything else you would like to do?
Yes. So I will move. Believe that was 10?
Yep.
I'll move 10 feet so that I'm behind it. And I guess I'll try to like use a free action to yell at it like, "Come on, I'm over here!" And I will end my turn.
Alright. Next up, it is Red's turn. Red. What you gonna do, girl?
Snapping intensifies.
Interesting. You, Sallus, not Sallus, but Goldblum, Iepetus. You notice Red immediately pull what seems to be a tiny wooden stick off from their side. And as she puts her thumb onto it, you hear kind of a crick. And then as she immediately flings her arm, the stick comes out into two more layers on both sides. She's carrying what appears to be, above game, a collapsible, double-sided riot control baton that's made of wood.
That's awesome.
And you hear her scream, "Death to the basilisk!" And she immediately charges at this thing
Oh,
casting. Let's see, what is this? This is a. Oh, yes! You watch as she immediately flings her hand. Green energy begins to formulate around staff. I need to make a roll. Not enough. She goes to immediately strike the basilisk, but the basilisk immediately lifts up one of its legs to block the hit. That is Red's turn. Now for the basilisk. Who do you go after, basilisk? Oh no. Hi, Epitus.
Stop.
It turns to you.
Oh my, well I guess that worked a little too well, didn't it? Alright then. Uh-huh.
Do me another favor.
Mm-hmm.
Please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Roger. And I'm assuming this doesn't account as an attack, right?
Nope.
Cool. Praying. Ooh.
You're fine. It looks at you menacingly with its eyes starting to glow, but you just immediately look a little bit above its eyes to where it's supposed to be eyebrows, and you're just imagining bushy eyebrows just to look away from the eyes.
Oh my goodness. Artist, you heard it. We need a basilisk with a
Oh,
furrowed,
God.
like, unibrow.
Wearing a top
just-
hat and a monocle.
I'm thinking it's wearing Groucho Marx glasses.
And with that,
Yeah, smash
it's
him.
going to leap at you.
Attack
Go,
of
Blue.
opportunity.
As
Yep.
soon... Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Let all that happen first, I guess.
Goldblum, you have attack of opportunity, and so does Red. See what you got.
Welcome up!
Hang on, I should have a wooden staff, but I don't see it. As an attack.
Have that saved as quarterstaff?
No, I have a regular wooden staff, but it should still have the same stats as a quarterstaff.
It would. That'd go off of your strength. So whatever your strength is, just add that to a d20 roll.
Also, J Frost, once this goes through, when the basilisk tries to attack, I'm gonna use a reaction.
Okay. I want to see what happens first. Get on
Right,
this roll
that-
for Red.
I'm
That's
just
why I
gonna-
wanted to wait.
Oh,
Add a
Red,
quarterstaff
come
for
on.
ease sake. There's a 13 hit.
13 does not hit.
Venus.
Neither does Red's, and she rolled absolutely piss poor. The basilisk lunges at you, maw open. Iapetus.
Oh, good grief. Alright, so then I am going to use my, a reaction to do shield. I should also mark down slots used. Cool. So,
Please
yeah,
and thank you.
do I need to click this for you so that you can read it?
Just click on shield. Alright, +5 bonus to your AC, and let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What is your AC as of right now?
So before the shield, it was 14 because of the magical, weapon, but the +5 would make it 19.
Alright, let's see what it hits. Fuck, I dropped my dice.
It takes nothing.
That's a 22 to hit.
Son of a bitch.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm gonna start using the red die for your friends, because apparently the green die is not being friendly, except for range attacks.
Alrighty. How much diddly do damage am I taking?
You are taking As of right now, you'll be taking 11 piercing damage and
Oh, goody.
9 poison.
11 piercing and 9 poison.
Yep.
So that would be like 20 total.
20 total.
All right, I'm down.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Oh no.
third level
Yeah.
wizards, man.
Yeah.
I am wee babu.
Note to DM self. Cuddle player characters more, so that way they know I don't hate them.
I mean, no, see. To be fair, I did ask for it, and I wanted its attention so that my compatriots could fuck it up. So technically, I did my squishy job.
Yeah, you did.
Well, no, technically the squishy job is not to get its attention, to throw things at from afar. Don't worry, you're
I
still
like
learning.
it. Nah, I like Zai's more.
I mean, it'll be alright.
You be that squishy tank, Zai. You be that squishy tank. Squish
Some-
life.
Someone will res me.
Someone will res you. Looks at party to see who has a spell on hand. Go, Bloom, it's your turn. As you can tell, your friend, Iapetus, has just taken a nasty, vicious bite into kind of the neck area. And because of that, they're gonna be down.
Goldblum is gonna sigh and shake his head. God damn it. He's gonna move up and cast Cure Wounds at
Okay.
level 1. You heal 6.
You're back up. For a
Yay!
split second, you see nothing but the primordial darkness, only to immediately feel the warm light and get, well, the closest I can basically say is, hey, you're familiar with the scenes in certain TV shows and movies where somebody gets hit with a defibrillator, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got hit with that defibrillator.
The
Claire!
defibrillator is my fist.
You'll just hear.
You're telling me Goldblum sucker punches Iapetus just with, like,
Not
cast
a
the
hard
energy?
hit. It's like a fist bump, you know?
Where's the fun in that?
He holds
Just
back. He's
Baymax
not gonna-
fist bumps her. Just fa la 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 la.
It's like
Alright.
CPR, just a double fist to the chest. Breathe!
Don't say CPR. I've got a certain song being put in my head that I can't get rid of.
But this will just gasp a little bit and look up and like nod, like a thanks.
Alrighty. Anything else you want to do, Goldblum? That was,
What kind
I
of-
believe Cure Wounds is a bonus action?
No,
No, it's a
action.
full action.
Ah,
Healing Word is the bonus,
that's the bonus action. That's
which I do
nice.
not have prepared. What
Could do
kind
the
of
other
damage
thing
did I
is-
take last time?
Piercing poison.
Poison.
You could do the other
But this
thing.
thing's looking rough, right?
What's up? Oh yeah,
But this
it's
thing's
definitely.
looking rough, right?
Oh yeah, it definitely is looking rough. It is. You can tell that it's basically fighting on through its sheer hatred of the damage it took. But it's definitely. You can definitely see in some parts of it, like a little bit of the actual meaty bits.
Hmm. Ah, fuck it. I'll do it. I will bonus action Earth Shape.
And
So my AC goes up.
tell me, what earth shape are you taking?
Onyx.
Going with the Onyx.
I have non-magical or resistance against non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing,
Or
as well as
choose-
advantage on.
you-
Oh,
you choose-
or
Slashing.
You choose one of those three.
I keep forgetting. I picked piercing because that's the one I took.
Okay. Not bad. We will. Anything else?
And my weapon will be uh, mace. Not that I can use it now.
All right.
That is end of turn.
Iapetus, it is your turn.
Oh boy. Alrighty then.
Back from the
You said he-
brink.
You said he's looking kind of rough, right?
Yeah, looking kind of rough.
This is risky. Let's see. Can't use that one. There's one thing I might be able to do. You know what? Screw it. Better safe than sorry. I am going to back up again. Well, actually, backing up provokes an attack, right?
Correct. You would have to take the disengage.
That's a good point.
Action.
So I will, in that case, then I will do the disengage action just to create some space. So I will disengage to, let's see, about here. Yeah, that's 20 feet. That's more. That's less than what I have for speed wise. I should be fine.
Now I will say this, because you took the disengage action, that was your action.
Right. I was tempted to attack it, but I'm like, if I do, I'm kind of in for a bad time. But if it decides to
Gonna
lunge
have a
after
bad
me,
time.
Gonna have a bad time.
you might have a bad time. But on the bright side, by me doing that, if it wants to take me out, it will provoke attacks again. So,
Yep.
for right now, then, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to I'm gonna do that movement and then wait, and if it goes to attack me, I will use shield again as my reaction, and I'll just hold that if that's possible, and that's me.
We now move on to Red. Red gonna come down and flank. Going for the hit with that collapsible staff baton. Shasha. That is. Ooh. Much better.
Yay!
Clarity. The first roll they rolled was a natural 1. The second roll, much better. And that is a plus, so that will definitely hit. And let me roll this. Rotate. Alright, so it's going to be taking that much in bludgeoning. Quite literally. That is Red's turn. Let's see, who you gonna go for, big boy? Oh, the irony.
It is me.
No, it's going for Red.
Oh, okay.
You get a chomp, and you get a chomp.
Everybody's getting chomped.
He's at least got a taste for everyone here so far.
Oh no. Oh boy, that's not good. This thing critted.
Oh.
She'll be fine. Ribs grow back. No, they don't.
I mean,
Let's
well,
see.
oh no.
Do some calculation. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so. And.
Oh. I'm concerned.
Well, you watch this thing immediately lunge, and it connects to Red's throat.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
And a massive spray of blood hits.
We can fix that, right?
Red is down.
Yet.
Down or dead? Because NPCs I know are different.
Down, because it's a friendly. It then turns to you. Go blue. Blood dripping from its maw. It is your turn.
I have a question because this is kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Do NPCs have hit dice? How does that work?
They do have hit dice. Surprise, surprise.
Okay, that is good to know. Fuck.
Fun fact for those wondering: any creature that has health points has hit die, as stated.
I have learned a thing.
Yep.
Well, it worked last time. Wither and Bloom. Damaging the basilisk, healing Red.
Alrighty, I'll roll for its save. And it's a Constitution, correct?
Yes, I should probably
Yep.
click the thing.
Are you fucking serious? It rolled the same thing again! Failed by 1. God damn, this basilisk is not doing great. And that is 8 necrotic.
Let's see your spell. Oh, I forgot to add my spell modifier to the heal.
Oh, alright.
So my heal would be what, 2?
So you got 8
So, yeah.
6.
Hit-
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit dice plus 2
Alright,
for healing.
what do you roll to heal?
Either way, she's up. That's the important thing.
Yeah, well, what'd you roll?
You have to roll.
Oh, it's your hit dice.
Oh.
It's her hit dice plus
Oh.
my modifier, which is 2.
Oh, forgive. Okay.
All good.
Her hit die.
It is a new spell, so
Yeah, forgive. Oh, interesting. That's her health one, so... Wow, that's pathetic.
But it's better than dead.
Yeah, considering
Yes.
in fact she only has 3 hit points now.
Oh,
for
crap.
flavor, can we just say that I punched the life force out of the basilisk and into her Red?
Astral projection, the life force.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He punched out all my blood.
Well, no. The better part is Wiley's got.
God damn
Wiley's
it.
holding a mace made out of obsidian. He just smacked this thing in the face.
Oh,
That is action. I will.
you punched the blue out of her hair.
Is this thing still up?
Thank you, Krista. That was the best one. Yeah, it's still up, but it's looking like absolute shit.
I'm not done because I'm gonna leave its area and try to get it to attack me. Hit me,
All right,
bitch!
opportunity of attack. Let's see if it hits. Let's see. That is.
Actually, I'm gonna move. Well, it doesn't matter where I move.
Does a 23 hit you?
Yes.
Cool. So you are gonna take. Here you. Let me roll its first.
Oh yeah, I have
You'll
resistance.
be
I should
taking
remember.
4 piercing instead of the 8 because it's halved. And as far as
Okay.
poison, ooh, 6 poison.
Again, fucking.
Oh, excuse me.
Welcome to being a player character. The only thing in D&D that actually has to fear poison damage.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's just the same. I'm at the same number as before.
Just
Fuck.
Like after the
Here.
first hit, I'm at the same number again. It's just funny coincidence. That's all.
Oh, the
And that is my
irony.
turn.
Iapetus, it's your turn.
Oakley doke. So this basilisk is looking pretty ragged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
What you
man.
gonna do, Iapetus?
I have two options, and I'm trying to figure out which one's the better option. All
Now
right.
let me ask you this: are you wanting
Yes.
to cast a spell, or are you wanting to go for broke in glorious melee?
So I'm considering either casting a spell or tapping into a certain part of my background that I haven't used yet.
Up to you.
You know what? I could do this for fun.
Come on, pull off an epic moment. Pull off an epic moment.
All right. So you're gonna hear Iapetus say, "Fuck this," and she's going to kind of like close her eyes, and as she does, you'll see her form kind of shift. The hair color and stays the same. That like reddish sienna color stays the same, but her form goes from a half elf to a wolf.
To a wolf.
And she growls and goes to attack the basilisk. So I will move back to where I was, which I
Quick
think was about
question.
20 feet. Yes.
Would this be a werewolf?
I believe it's considered just a regular wolf. I can send you the stats for it if you want.
Okay, because if so, allow me to do you a favor.
Coolsies.
Yeah, I just accidentally pulled the stats up on Discord. Why do you not let us control which tab you open up your originals in?
There you
It
go.
chooses
That's
the,
the one I
uh,
was basing it off of.
The last one you clicked on, it will open that up.
I hate that.
Yeah. Takes getting used to.
He's just like growling, just
Yeah,
And
you
like-
have control of that token if you want.
wee. Oh yeah, I'm up there. I'm close. Oh, I puppy! Yay!
You
So
pupper.
I move this here. I puppo now.
Alright, what you gonna do?
She's gonna bite. So you'll just hear, and she's gonna chomp. And
Go for
so
the attack.
Just to make sure I do this right. Bite attack, you deal 2d4 plus your strength or dexterity modifier piercing
You
damage.
need to roll to hit, though.
Yeah. So I just gotta make sure I choose the right die for that.
It's a
It's a
d20
D20.
plus.
Strength or dex, which are you using?
I will use.
What is it for a wolf?
I should probably use dex. Yeah, I'll use dex.
Alright.
So just slash roll d20.
Slash R space.
Should be a D20 plus 2.
Well, yeah, plus
Yeah,
the
there's an
modifier.
advanced dice roller if you want to use it. It's the dice symbol over on the one side. Just go down and hit advanced dice roller, and in the advanced dice roll, it can do 1d20 plus 2.
My bad. Ignore
no.
that button.
Well, don't worry about it.
There you go. I think I did it.
Yep.
You did.
Yep.
Roll your damage.
Yay! And double check, make sure I don't roll the wrong thing. 2d4 plus 2. Okay. Advanced dice roller again. 2d4 plus 2.
Oh.
4.
Don't worry, because as you immediately lunge in this canine form, you lunge at this basilisk's throat, catching it. Just how it caught Red. You tear into it, shaking left, right, viciously, with its blood just coming out, and it's just immediately wriggling, trying to claw you off, until the clawing stops.
Fatality.
And that is the end of combat. Congratulations, guys! You killed a basilisk!
Holy fuck, why was there a basilisk here?
I don't know, blame the person who decided to bring a frickin' basilisk to school, thinking they were gonna get that through.
Now you probably need to explain some other things, though.
Hmm? Oh, no,
We have a witness.
You do.
2, technically, because 1 has never seen you do this.
So, in wolf form still, just slightly, going to sit calmly, look over at each of them, like, look to the left, look to the right, and stick out tongue briefly and just blep.
Alrighty. You watch as Red gets up, looking at this wolf, and...
I pet the dog.
Interesting. You pet the dog!
Yes, you can pet the dog in this game!
She immediately looks to you and speaks in a language you understand, which is
Oh?
weird.
What language is she speaking?
Wolf! She's
Oh.
speaking glorious wolf! Have you no
What?
wolves?
I can do that too, you know. I just choose
bow,
not to.
bow, 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 bow.
Ha-ba-ba. Ha-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Ha-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So when if she starts talking, once you tell me what she said, initially when she starts to talk and I can understand, you're gonna see the like doggo head tilt when they're like, huh?
Oh, you're a shifter.
Huh? Huh?
Wait. You can still understand common anyway, can't you?
The head tilt is because Iapetus is shocked that she's speaking to her and that she can understand.
Ah.
And eventually I'll like revert back to my form, but I wanted to do it slowly so that I didn't freak anybody out.
Goldblum stops petting.
Don't have to stop.
Okay, Goldblum, you can stop pet. Okay, cool. Hey, so Cool Basilisk is taken care of.
You said there was a gray person. Should we go help them?
Yeah. Just give me a minute, cause she's looking a little ragged, cause she's rough. She'll look over to Red. Thanks for the help. You all right? I'm Iapetus. That over there is Goldblum.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just didn't. And as she rubs her neck, she goes, I didn't expect to donate so much blood today.
Oh man, you and me both. What would I need to do to see if that basilisk has any black goop or anything, or if there's anything similar to what we saw at the other locations, J. Frost?
You can just roll a perception, but above game, you're not going to see any black goop.
Oh, okay, cool. Well then I will spare you the perception then. We I think we should like take a moment to patch ourselves up if we need to, but we definitely need to go check on that we need to check on that kid, the other student in the hallway. Where the hell is the security in this place?
you say that, you immediately see a few armed guards slam into this room. Going, is everyone alright? Oh.
We look alright?
It's fine. I saved them.
I see that. You can tell that they're a mixture. One of them looks to be a dwarf, one of them looks to be an elf, two of them are human. The human looks to the dwarf and goes, sir, after you. Dwarf goes up and goes, aye, that's a basilisk, alright. Ligo, what do you think? The elf immediately steps forward. It's like somebody tried to bring in a unsolicited pet. Aye, I can agree to that. I hate it when kids pull this shite. You and me both, friend. You and me both. Is everyone truly alright? Nobody too hurt? Does anyone need some medical?
I definitely could use some medical care. And you'll see Iapetus, like, lift up a hand briefly, but then say, but take care of, and she points over to Red first. And also, I think this basilisk's owner is down the hallway, like maybe 7 classrooms down.
Alright. We'll go deal with that. Come on, Lego. No problem, Gim.
Oh my god, J. Frost, I adore you for
Yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Two
Thank you.
dwarf and elf partners walk out. The two human guards go up and go, here, we'll help you get fixed up. And they both hand you... Actually, they're both going to give you this bottle of this weird, kind of almost bubbling white liquid. It's gonna taste like absolute shit, but you'll definitely be healed up.
Why is this milk bubbling?
That's because that's where the healing factor comes in.
Oh, I didn't know milk was that strong.
You'd wish it was milk. They immediately check you up. What about you? You need any health?
Was that to me or Goldblum?
To Goldblum.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
You sure?
It's just pain.
Gotta block out the pain!
Make your body feel numb.
I'll live.
They just look at each other and go, alright, suit yourself.
Did they say specifically what it is?
Nope.
Just
They just
healing
said
white
it'll heal
stuff.
you up.
I'm going
each
to
get
ask
that?
them what it is specifically.
It's an instantaneous recovery potion.
Oh, wow.
It'll taste like absolute shit, but it'll do the job.
Thank you, guys.
Well-
So Iapetus is going to, like, put it away once they walk away. She doesn't want to use it yet so that she can see if there's a way to make more of this.
They walk away and you put yours away. You watch Red immediately pop it and just goes down the hatch. And as she immediately lifts it up for a quick swig, she spins the little glass bottle it was in, quickly drinking it. And you see that her wounds begin to heal quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. That was fun. I'm so sorry that you two had to deal with that.
So
Name's Red, by the
hard.
way.
Nice to fight by your side, Red. I really should take this, but
You
I should
really
also find-
should.
yeah. But what if we can get more of it, though?
I wouldn't recommend it. Trying to replicate something like that tends to be not great.
Got it. She'll look at
Just drink your milk and get tall.
I wish it was.
She'll
milk.
look at the bottle and drink it.
Alrighty. I'm going to say this. Iepetus, as you drink this, you get this foul taste in your mouth. It is absolute. The closest I can put it is, imagine just dragging your tongue against a damp towel.
Oh, okay, I got that.
And as soon as you reach the end of that taste, it gets extra fuzzy.
Block out the taste, make your body regrow.
Tastes
What
awful,
the-
and it works.
Jesus Christ, it tastes like I licked a hairball.
Yep.
Who's that?
Give it a second. And as she says that, you're immediately restored to full health.
This would be more impressive.
They
with
didn't give
more
me one,
wizards.
right? Yeah.
Nope.
Wait, what'd you say? I
You're
missed
restored to
it.
full health.
Got it.
And no,
So-
Wally, you turned it down.
Alright, so, Red, Goldblum, do me a favor. The puppy thing, just keep that to yourselves for now. A lot of people don't take to it as kindly as you guys just did, and as you can imagine, it gets me in trouble because of it.
Okay, how long is for now?
Don't bring it up unless I ask you to.
All right.
I appreciate it.
There's nothing wrong with being furry, just so you know.
Oh no, I love it. Most other people don't.
Well, screw them. I mean, don't screw them, but you know.
Yeah, them. But not literally. Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, but I appreciate the head pats. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Immediately Red hugs you and just goes, just stay safe, okay?
Aww. And she's gonna be taken aback, so she's not gonna stiffen up, but her eyes are gonna get big. Like, oh, thanks, thanks, Red. You
You're
too.
welcome.
Hopefully, we see each other on campus, not in the midst of battle again.
Don't worry about it. Anyways, I gotta get rolling. Talk to you all later.
All right, see yous.
You watch
Goldblum,
it.
we should head out.
Runs out the door.
A person has a color in their name. I approve.
Go, Bloom.
Yeah.
You know what? Make me. What's your passive
Oh, no.
perception?
12.
You wouldn't notice it. You're good. Don't worry about
Now I'm curious.
Goldblum will not worry about it. I, however, will.
it. Oh, it'll get fun. It'll get fun. And with that, we will be switching over to our last individual. We will be switching over to our lovely Ender.
That's me.
Ender,
Hi.
where we last caught with you, we managed to hear about a fun little festival that's coming up. a culinary festival that's going to be hosted with some of the faculty higher ups making an attendance, as well as other special arts going to be performed.
Indeed. I also bought a great many supplies for that festival.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So tell us, what are you doing at this current moment?
Well, the festival is in, what, a week?
A week away.
Well, probably what Ender would have done is he would have gone to the local tavern to begin to look into some of the recipes and styles from that part of the world, while he checks out the place to see if the tavern is a place that he might want to eventually pick up work in. He knows that to further his study in the culinary arts and culomancy, he is going to need to be able to practice and learn more. And so he's scouting locations in the campus to try to find a place that he can learn more.
Of course. You pick up on the fact that there's the Bozen Tavern, there's a couple different shops around that do a little bit of cooking here and there, but honestly, as you get to talk to everyone, and in fact you even talk to some of the cafeteria workers, who actually quite nice, quite sweet, but very knowledgeable in their endeavors. You do manage to pick up certain cuisines, some culinary specialities. In fact, you pick up a couple different recipes for garum, which is a fish sauce that goes quite well. And in fact, allow me to pull something up. Do give me one moment. I just need to pick up my actual cooking document that I've created for this exact moment.
Now, this festival, is this, what part of the world is these kinds of foods coming from, so that I might be able to, say, look into it myself and get ideas?
It is a multicultural festival. And in fact, you've got different types of, you got lizard folk culinary, you've got human, dwarf, elf, kobold, gnome, dragonbolt, fearbolt, goblin, Goliath, Kenku, Tabaxi, Triton. Hell, there's even food for Liloptian, Driders, Carthians, Lamia.
Interesting. Now, with this festival, is there, like, say, for example, is there any kind of competitions or stalls that can be, picked up in order to be able to perform or cook during this particular festival? Or is it, you just wander around to the people that are already there?
Believe it or not, while there are going to be banquet tables that will have preset foods, there will also be specialized stalls. And in fact, some students are actually encouraged to enroll a stall just to kind of, give at least some taste as to what they have to offer to the world, so much as the world has to offer to them. Usually it's seen mostly as appetizers, however, some manage to be bold and brave, because you've overheard a few students talking about actually trying to go for some full course meals to give out.
What kind of process would the enrollment be, perchance? Is it where you have to, like, rent a table, or?
For this particular event, you would need to go to the Office of Foreign Relation, which is actually a student body run area. They do have oversight from the faculty.
That would probably, if he learned all that, that would probably be the next place that he would begin to head.
Alrighty. As you immediately head there, you will actually be greeted by a student.
And for the record, my passive perception is 12 because I have a feeling you're going to ask it.
Oh, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Can I roll insight on the DM?
You know what? Go ahead.
Oh, watch me get in that one. 17.
Great. Now
Am I
let me
going
roll.
to be fine?
Now give me 1 second whilst I roll my D100.
Roll a 1.
Nah,
63.
nah, he's good at these rolls.
I'm only 6 away from what should have been the right number.
Ha ha, funny sex number.
Yeah. As you go up in there, you notice this kind of goblin just sitting bored, laying back in his chair going, "Welcome to the Foreign Relations Student Body Council. Here we are here to make the world go round, tailored to the whims, catering, and other necessities for not just our student body, but for us." And screw it, I'm done with this whole shtick. What do you want?
I'm here to enroll for the cultural festival coming up, please.
Here for the cultural festival. All right. What are you wanting to go for?
I'm wanting to be able to cook. I understand that some students are encouraged to rent out a table so that they rent out an area so that they can begin to prepare and serve meals to the student body and honored guests that might be attending the festival.
Understood. And as he says this, he immediately goes, "Can you keep a secret?"
I try my very best.
Oh, thank God. He immediately claps his hands, and a puff of smoke goes up. And you see just this human standing before you and goes, "Oh, thank God. Holy shit. Oh, thank God. I was tired of being in that form."
Slow tilt to the head. I'm guessing they make you remain a goblin for some reason during work hours?
Oh, no. Dear God, no. I just do that so that way most people tend to ignore me.
Fair.
Anyways. Alright, so, you want to be in the festival? You want to do cooking?
Yep.
Alright. Do you have a name, sir?
My name is Indare Highwind.
Dare Highwind. Age?
Actually, I have to check my character sheet for that one.
By all means, please check your character sheet.
18 winters.
18 winters. Cool. Neato. Alright. Year of student?
First year.
First year, huh? Ballsy. Alright. And are you going for table, cart, or are you planning on doing a server tray?
As big of an area as you've got for me. Basically, I have about 300 gold worth of cooking materials to be used for this particular festival.
see. All right. We'll do a full-size cart for you. All right. And as he begins writing this down, he immediately writes enough onto a slip and pulls it apart and hands it off to you. All right. This right here is your voucher. The voucher will allow you entrance into the main hall for the festival. Now, a few things to note. The festival itself is going to be big. You want to be on your best behavior because you're not just representing yourself, you're representing the school, especially the student body. Now, mind you, there are a few things that you're going to need to know.
Mm-hmm.
You will have a designated area to put all your stuff in. People will be invited to partake of every cart, every table, every server tray. So you will be able to get people. Some you might not be able to get to, but you definitely will be reaching a nice sized clientele. The school will, of course, as you are putting this material together, should you prove to be well into your services, you will be reimbursed for all your efforts.
Now, with these carts and these areas, are we allowed to say cook live and say put on a show for those that we're feeding?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? It's a freaking art style festival. Go for it.
Big happy kitty grin.
Just know you're going to be in competition with a couple people, though. And it's not just going to be the foodies you're going to have to be dealing with. You're going to be dealing with all the different magical arts. And of course, last year was a fun one, considering the fact that the winner of that festival's main performance is going to be there again this year.
Really now? What'd they do?
Put on a friggin' show and a half. You kidding me? Musical. Hold on. I think I got a flyer for them somewhere. And you watch as this guy digs deep into his desk. Let's see. Sending stone? No. Crossbow? No. Live chicken? No. Hold on. There it is. There we are. And he pulls out this rolled up piece of paper and he just hands it to you. Yeah, it was a band. I think the name was Hell Screamer.
That's a interesting name. I'll give them credit.
Telling me, considering the fact that they did a friggin' outstanding performance.
And this was just a musical thing. This had nothing to do with food, correct?
Not with food, but let's face it, they stole the show, considering the fact that one of them was basically bringing frickin' pyrotechnics. Not just this easy kind, I'm talking like artillery kind.
Oh, I like a challenge.
Oh boy, you better go with it now.
He gives a nod and he pets the chicken.
The chicken just blankly looks up and he goes,
You are adorable.
yeah. I don't even know where that chicken came from.
You'd be surprised some of the things that can just randomly appear, especially if they get attached to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's this. If you really want to talk about crazy shit, there's this one time this guy got some weird magical card set. He drew one card, next thing you know, he was being chased by this guy in a black cloak with a scythe.
Really?
Yeah, don't know what happened. All I know is a couple of the teachers got involved. It did not end well for that student.
Yeah, from what I've noticed, crazy stuff happens around here all the time.
Yeah, well, it's to be expected. I mean, come on, you're at literally the magical center of the world when it comes to all kinds of arcane knowledge.
True. Very true. So I suppose you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs, right?
It's on the eggs. Besides, from what I hear, there's going to be a really big show-off going on for this year. considering one of the founders of the school is actually going to be here.
Really now?
Mm-hmm.
And so I can, just so I'm understanding, whenever it comes to, say, magic and showmanship, anything goes as long as it's not, harmful, of course.
Not harmful, but you don't try for sabotage. Believe me, it will not end well. And that opens the door to a number of fights.
Well, I was more referring to, say, my own craft and my own ability.
Oh,
Like, say, for example, things that might make me more appealing or, things like that.
dude, you're fine. Go for it. Are you kidding me?
He gives a little bit of a grin. Good. Very good.
Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be a big event. You don't want to screw it up, especially considering the fact that the founders of the school are going to be there.
Can I roll history on that?
By all means.
Double nat 20?
Are you shitting me? Well, we're about to get into the fun bits of knowledge. And there, as soon as you think about it, you're like, wait a minute. And you think back. You know that the founders were some of the most powerful magical wielders on the planet. And they weren't just human. They were dragons. The names of Beladros Witherbloom, Kelvor Galasmeth Prismari, Shadrix Silverquill, Tanazir Quandrix, Velamachus Lorehold. These are some of the most powerful entities on the planet. And they're gonna be there. And it's not just the fact that they're powerful because of their draconic nature. They're some of the oldest magic wielders on the planet.
J Frost, with the fact that I rolled a double nat 20, is there any way that I might say, with a week of prep time, be able to make a special meal for each one of the founders? With, say, use of my Heward's handy spiced pouch for each
I would
dish.
say by all means. What I will say is, I will allow you to gain one history check with advantage to learn each of these dragons' specific types of taste.
Okay. So I have to pick I pick the dragon and then I can roll with advantage.
Yep. And that's your choice. You've got
Prismari.
one. Prismari, alright. Roll.
And history with advantage. 22.
Thinking about this, and remembering the history of the Prismari, specifically of Galazeth, you know full well Galasmith is someone who enjoys seafood, and they enjoy spectacular show, pyrotechnics, lights. They are someone who is quite vivid in their food and taste.
Interesting. Then I think I've got my task for the week.
Of course, of course.
And just to make sure, the check was for only one of the dragons. I don't get to make checks for the other dragons.
You can, however, it will just be normal history checks.
Okay. Then let me go ahead and the next one is going to be for Witherbloom.
Alrighty.
21 with a nat 20 on the other side.
Hot damn. So, for Witherbloom, you know full well Lord Witherbloom is a master of the magics of life and death, necromancy, and clerical. And because of that, she is someone who absolutely enjoys a cycle style of culinary. It's got to build up. Building up further and further, much like the wheel of life itself. Starting small with the appetizer, working your way up into the main course, which would then be at its bravado, only to immediately back down, weakening until you get to the dessert.
Okie doke. Next up, we're going to go for Quandrix. Ooh, only got a 9 for Quandrix.
Quandrix. That one's gonna be a little tough, considering Tenazir is one of the most potent masters of magic to govern physical reality and theoretical abstraction. Honestly, to find out the taste of this entity, especially considering the fact that they're one of the few beings who can probably wield nearly all forms of magic. You're not sure. In fact, that one's probably going to be your biggest challenge.
Okie doke. Let me see. Next up is done Prismari. I've done Prismari, Witherbloom, and Quandrix. That means I have Lorehold and Silver Quill left.
Mm-hmm.
So Silver Quill is next with a 23.
23. Knowing full well about Lord Silverquill, the light and shadows are their bets. They're quite someone who's traditional. Almost, well, in some sense, you could say quite conservative in their taste. However, that doesn't mean that it doesn't betray the sense of just bland and normalcy. You would look upon this and think, if anything, probably something ceremonial. And as you think harder on it, you immediately realize ceremonial light and shadow. A temple feast.
All right. And the final roll will be for Lorehold. And a 20.
Fucking hell, you really are lucky. Lorehold.
Baba Yaga doesn't lie. Cat people are lucky.
Milomachus. Son of a bitch, I know exactly where that came from.
Babushka, she no lie.
Before I have to deal with Baba Yaga's dancing hut, or Baba Yaga's banjoing hut, I will get to this. They were the Lamachus Lorehold was the first dragon of Strixhaven to master the magic of order and chaos. She encouraged the exploration and discovery of so much. The fact that this is technically not only the founder of Lorehold, but also the first of those those founders to basically, well, master magic to such a degree, you think real long and hard, and you go, if it's about chaos and order, I'll do a chaotic style dinner that is subsequentialed in an orderly fashion. Something that will mix up the palates here and there, never giving the same taste. Always different, but pleasing.
And Dare gives a little bit of a grin. I think I've got an idea of what I can do. And if the founders are going to be there, I'm going to take every opportunity to put on a show, as they say. I've got a lot to prepare in the next week, my friend.
I wish you the best of luck, my guy. Especially considering the fact, you know what? Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to take the reins and show the whole world what it's like for Cullinan-Hancy.
Never know. Don't work too hard, all right? I hope the rest of your shift goes by and you get yourself a good evening.
Will do. I'm probably just gonna take a nap. Anyways, nice to meet you, Ender.
Nice to meet you as well, my friend.
Take care.
Pleasant dreams. He
You
gives a
tell
little
me.
grin and he wanders away with ideas and plans and a week to prepare for probably the biggest moments of his life.
But before we end our lovely session,
Mm-hmm.
Ender,
Mm-hmm.
as you're walking by thinking long and hard about this, you run into Sallus, who looks a little burnt here and there.
You're looking a little bit more crispy than normal, dude.
Did you not see the giant explosion over there?
Explosion?
Sallus points to the direction of where he just was.
Turn and look.
And there, you look. You see a very high multi-story building where there seems to be the remnant of smoke coming off of the 7th floor.
Oh. Spell gone wrong? What happened?
I'm not rightly sure. I have an inkling, but I don't want to say it out loud lest it be true. But I investigated the wreckage, and there it was grim. One of our teachers, several of the faculty, have perished.
Well, it's almost like he's caught off guard by the fact that so many people have just died.
I did what I could. I tried to get to the center of it, assess the damage. I was able to save one elderly gnomish lady, but Professor Melfs was the epicenter of everything, and well, I did what I could, and she didn't make it.
He reaches out, pats Sallus on the shoulder, prestidigitations the soot and smoke away. Look, what happened was a bad situation, but you didn't cause it. You were the first one to rush in there to try to help people. So come on, let's go find a professor. Let's tell somebody And let's see if maybe there's more survivors over there that hasn't been found yet. Besides, there's enough mages around here that knows time magic that maybe they can reverse it and save her, you know?
I really hope so. I've never been too. No offense. I've never been especially keen on that high level spells. So, if it can't help, by all means, but I'm not holding out my breath.
Well,
Come on.
even if it can't help, it's best to let people know, because otherwise, with you being there, you know what Tall, Dark, and Metal did. If that's the case, he's gonna see that you were there, and I don't want you to be in his sights again. Come on, let's go.
Sallus walks up within Dare, but mentally thinks he already knows. And I really hope he doesn't have anything to do with this.
As you
I got.
two-
I might have something that'll help. Here, have a cookie.
Actual cookie.
An actual cookie.
Sallus will take the cookie, look at it, look to Endare. Thoughtful. Not quite the time, but it will be soon, and he'll put the cookie away.
Makes food all the time. It makes sense that he'd have food on him.
True, but like I will eat this cookie when I'm currently not dealing with shock.
Eat the chocolate, it helps.
I
Could
got
be
that
worse.
reference.
A guy with a black cloak could be running after you with a scythe. Apparently that's happened around here.
Huh. That sounds really like a poor choice of weaponry. I tell you what. A scythe? Really? I mean, it's spooky, but it's farming gear.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, anything's
Also,
sharp enough, right?
Also, don't pull any don't pull any cards from any decks.
Noted. I will not do that.
Is there anything else you two would like to do?
I think we'd like to go see if we can talk to a teacher or something about the incident.
Me.
I'm escorting him to a professor because I'm a model citizen, and I'm making sure that the professors know what's going on. Big happy kitty smile.
I'm a model citizen, performing a citizen's arrest. No.
By all means. As you both head off to try to see if you can find either the main faculty building or potentially even a security office.
Worst case scenario, we'll go to the biblioplex and find Sharpbeak.
Of course. And as you walk off on a tree branch, a metal scarab with a single monotonal green glowing eye watches you both. And as it sees that you both are sufficiently far away, it begins to fly up to a building close by to where you two were at. It flies into a window and immediately lands on the hand of an individual in a black cloak wearing an owl mask. Looking down at it, and as it begins to chirp and make different noises, the figure looks down and goes, "I see. So it is time." And immediately crushes the scarab. And that is where we will end our session.
I told all of you!
Hooray, conspiracies!
Oh.
You all thought I was crazy, but no!
You are crazy.
Irrelevant! I was right!
Above game you might be. In game you don't know.
Either way, I called it. Ha!
So we don't. It's an owl mask. It's a mask. It's not necessarily an owl. It's a mask. You leave those owls alone.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, no, no. No owls. No owls. No owls are safe.
There are literal owl people walking around. That's
He's
a
going-
fucking Halloween mask.
Okay, first of all, with the rate we've met NPCs, Daedalus will never actually meet any of the canonical owl students at this school, so it's fine.
We
You
met
don't know
one.
that.
We
You
fought
don't know
one with
that.
the frogs.
And
That
you
guy
don't know
literally
that 'cause
ran
Deborah
away.
wants- Because
He was-
Deborah wanted us to keep an eye out for one, so no.
I love like Daedalus is jumping on this like fucking J. Jonah Jameson sees some mook robbing a store in a Spider-Man mask. Spider-Man villain confirmed.
He's a menace.
I want pictures of owls.
I want pictures of Owl Man, damn it!
And so the professor in the owl mask is just taking fucking pictures of owls.
Wait, they take the mask out. They take the mask off, and it's an owl under the under the mask.
I just
Oh
want
my
to point out
God.
that by his logic, J. Jonah Jameson became mayor of New York and had a lot of very good reforms.
And also got the shit beat out of him by a very angry symbiote Goblin Osborn because he was tired of his shit.
Thank
you,
you,
Wiley.
Wiley. That was the perfect moment to drop that.
All right. Well, then, let me just kick back over onto this screen. And also, Wiley, we don't have to worry about fixing the overlay. I figured out what was wrong with it. It was that I was in DM mode.
Yeah, I figured.
But
But
all right.
anyways,
With all that going around, first I'd like to, since we've got a good number of people hanging out in chat, I just want to drop the link here. If you would like to start following with us from the beginning, you can find all our episodes uploaded to the YouTube channel. Come on. Nightbot, get on your fucking job. I dropped the link. Come on.
come on, what are we paying you for?
Nightbot's taking a nap.
Paying!
It needs to sleep.
You think I got money? I can't pay nobody shit. Which is bad because we could probably use several artists to do some character art for us.
Cigarettes are considered money in some places.
Fuck you! I need to kill myself my own way.
Ah, damn it.
Ugh.
I prefer it with butter and sugar.
Yep.
I mean, true, but those don't help your anxiety. Either way, you can check out all the episodes for that, as well as our streams for Cholta Personality, as well as any of our other what's it called? Any other streams I do. But let's start out with our lovely DM extraordinaire, one Mr. J Frizzle. Where can they find you?
Find me here at twitch.tv/JFrost747. I don't know why I'm turning into Ringo, but guess what? It's gonna keep going. Where you'll find us being able to do some Pillars of Eternity, aka D&D the game. Borderlands 1, Game of the Year Enhanced Edition, where explosion are gonna be going off like a motherfucker. And of course, you'll find me on twitch.tv/fartingtart every Sunday and bi-weekly Tuesday for our War of the Shattered Sun campaign and our Curse of Strahd. Other than that, you'll also find us here next week for the Fun Times, where, you could say things are getting a little sus. That's it for me. How about somebody else?
CG, go!
CG, no. Oh, okay, I guess I will go. Hello, you can find me, sorry. You can find me hopefully feeling better over on Farting Tart's channel tomorrow for Exali Regalia, as well as over on the same channel on Tuesday for the Curse of Strahd. Which, both times, Tart and I have a habit of kind of overlapping similar concepts whenever we play our games through literally no combination of our own, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen again next week. So look forward to finding out what exactly. But that's it for me. Let's round out this with Zai.
Hey, diddly do. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZymieSite, where I'm playing more Dark Souls once or twice a week. On Sundays and Mondays. Thursdays, I'm doing some Monster Hunter Rise catch up so I can finish all of my events before Sunbreak comes out. And on Fridays, I'm playing fight games and beat 'em ups because iframes are what I study. When I'm not doing that, you could find me over at nerdygirlblurbs.com writing or on Twitter, really excited about Monster Hunter news because reasons. And yeah, of course, every other Saturday here with these awesome folks, being a student caught in hijinks. Yeah, that is me. Bob, it is now you.
Greetings and salutations. I am Shadow Dancer Bob. On Sundays, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Shadow Dancer Bob. You can find me on Sundays on my channel for the Maelstrom, which is a WWE 2K19 meets D&D wrestling show with nearly 100 players. On Mondays, you can find me on twitch.tv/LennyPatora, where I play Denier, the Tabaxi Wizard. We are getting ready to leave the apocalyptic timeline and go back home to try to fix things. On Tuesday, I play Destiny 2 with the 101 Guard. On Wednesday, on occasion, you can find me on twitch.tv/TrashKingArisen, where I play the handsomely devilish villain, the Silver Devil, for the Under the Shroud campaign. Thursdays and Fridays, you might find my channel for things like Subnautica, Dreamscaper, so on and so forth. Saturdays, you can find me right here playing Indare, the Tabaxi Artificer, getting crits on history checks about dragons, and I'm going to try to charm a dragon eventually. Mark my words. I swear to God, I'm going to do it.
Someone stop him!
Man, thank God legendary resistances are a thing.
Y'all say that like he's going to use magic to charm people. Nah, he's just going to use his own charismatic presence.
I mean, it's already
And
worked
cooking.
on. It already worked on Baggy. Oh,
I have proficiency in persuasion and an inspiration roll. Bring it on.
All right, fine, bet. I'm gonna find some way to break your character's heart.
Oh, how could you?
You'd be surprised.
I mean,
that was the most
technically,
genuine thing I've ever heard.
Frost, you killed Melf. Technically, you already did.
We have Melf at home. Melf at home. Charge.
I don't want Mustafar style MILF.
No, I'm not falling off again. Not today.
You know, I hear in some cultures you pay for Mustafar variants with an arm and a leg.
Sometimes it's a chosen thing, but sometimes it's not. You really have to go for it on a much higher ground of beef.
I hate
Just don't
you.
underestimate the power.
Don't worry, the service there will bring safety, security, and prosperity to your new imperial diet.
You know, you could pass it to someone else to stop this whole thing. You know that, right?
I could, because Willie hasn't gone yet. I hand this ball over to Willie.
Hello, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at XWileyWilly, where I will stream on Mondays, usually randomizer games, or roguelike games. Other than that, I'll try to stream music making, maybe some WWE 2K22, possibly. And all my memes and music goes on my YouTube channel.
Hell yeah.
And that's it for me. I've lost track of who has gone.
That would be
Everybody.
me. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Well, You've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at the exact same thing. I'm very unoriginal in my naming process, so yeah, it's easy to find me. And I've already shielded all of that. So, mostly just keep your eyes out. I may try to stream some more Bravely Default 2 tomorrow, or maybe switch it up. We'll see what's on the docket, depending on how tired I am. Because what is sleep? I don't have a normal sleep cycle anymore. CG can attest to this.
Can confirm.
Yeah, no. What is staying up till 5 a.m. writing lore for homebrew?
Play where the water tastes like wine and embrace your skeleton ship.
I mean, I will get to that eventually. I am right now, though, like I said, when I'm not typing up deep lore for warlocks just so I can put out homebrew, I am basically working to make sure all these games come out. So keep an eye out, and if you have any friends who want to see some more D&D inspired content, let them know. Look us up. We already got a few follows here, thanks to Bob. One Mr. Stigmabolt, Skyrim Luigi, CRJ Go, as well as some lovely gift subs. Thank you from Zai to giving a sub to Willie, and Willie for It Wasn't Milk! Oh, Lord. And also 100 bits from Sandman. Thank you very much. Every little bit goes towards what we can do for these streams. And also my rent, because I don't have a job anymore. We'll see about fixing that. Maybe. I don't know. But we're going to raid a good friend of all of ours. One Pokemon Dog. So immediately, I just want all caps. Vaughn was right for our raid message.
This
I
man.
can't believe it.
Oh, thank you. So I am going to play us out with our Saved by a Spell theme song. Thank you all for coming out, and we will be back next Saturday, and then probably back to bi-weekly games. So keep an eye out next week for us.
Hell yeah.
Adios.
Thank